Step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, well, I tune to my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
A very good morning to you, South Africa. It's a beautiful Wednesday morning. It's hump day.
Happy hump
Thank you so
day,
much for choosing to start off your morning with us right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso. Ikamalam Kukuhle Adams and Anambi Ndodo. I am with Jamie Lee Domberg. As we do every single day, we bring you a jam-packed show. It's going to be a fun show. We are joined by resident chef from Afternoon Express, Utumi, and we're actually going to be going head-to-head to see who will make the best omelette this morning.
Girl, you better not sleep on us, okay? Like, my faith is in you, but I also love Tumi so much. It's going to be amazing to have her in studio and chat with her about her journey, what happened after winning, and just taking us through a whole experience on the Taste Master. But of course, it's also Parenting Advice Day with Kim Abrams. She's going to be teaching us how we can implement good, healthy hygiene onto our kids. So you want to stick around for that as well. And then, of course, Gorilla Classics is here to perform. We make sure that you're always up to date with the best music right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. But as always, connect with us throughout the show on Expresso Morning Show, SABC3, on all social media platforms, and use that hashtag Expresso Show. It's going to be a jam-packed show, y'all. Can you feel it? We are within. We are happy.
We're within the vibe.
We are just, yes.
It's a great day.
It's going to be a great day. Yes. Happy hump day. But right now, let's get on to those news headlines. Everybody.
Thank you so much, ladies. A very good morning from my side as well. My name is Graham Richards. Welcome as we delve into our local headlines first. Ending weeks of waiting, a plane left South Africa last night at 9 o'clock to fetch the South Africans from Wuhan in China, obviously the epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak. In a statement, the interministerial task team responsible for the management of the country's readiness to handle the spread of COVID-19 announced that all plans had been finalized for the preparation of the 122 South Africans to return who are currently residing in Wuhan. They will be back in South Africa by Friday. And keeping it local, Eskom has won a High Court bid to appeal the decision by the National Energy Regulator of South Africa that prevented the utility from effecting a 15% tariff hike in 2018 and 2019. As a result of that decision, Eskom was unable to recover 27 billion rand in costs last year. The court found that the decision was procedurally unfair, irrational and unreasonable. Eskom can now file a new application within 60 days to recover the costs next year. Further afield, on the international front, two extremely rare white giraffes have been killed by poachers in northeastern Kenya, conservationists have revealed. Rangers had found the carcasses of the female and her calf in a village in northeastern Kenya's Garissa County. A third white giraffe is still alive and is thought to be the only remaining one in the world. Their white appearance is due to a rare condition called leucism, which causes skin cells to have no pigmentation. Poachers have not yet been identified and their motive is still unclear. Then Russian President Vladimir Putin yesterday said a proposed amendment allowing him to run for president after 2024 would be possible if the Constitutional Court allows it. Putin made the suggestion in Parliament after the majority party suggested a constitutional amendment that would effectively reset Putin's presidential run, allowing him to stand in a new election. The Russian president is currently serving his fourth and final term that will come to close in 2024. And now, heartwarming news of rhino orphan Khaleesi and his special boot. In December of last year, the Rhino Orphanage received a 5-month-old rhino orphan from a private game reserve, which presumably had been attacked by hyenas and had his one rear foot gnawed off. The team immediately started treating his wounds and named him Khaleesi after Springbok rugby captain Sia, because he was such a brave little fellow. He was fitted with a special boot to help heal his foot. Now, 3 months later, he's doing extremely well and has become the orphanage's class clown, often finding himself in trouble. The orphanage says it now needs to start weaning him off human contact, baby steps at a time, as baby rhinos stress very easily. So in good time, Khaleesi will move on and again spend time with only his kind. Now, turning our gaze to the world of entertainment, top billing presenter Jade Daniel has welcomed her first little bundle of joy to the world with her husband Matthew. Mila Elizabeth Daniel was born on Monday afternoon, arriving fashionably late at 41 and a half or 5 days, 41 weeks and 5 days, and and we'll have more on that definitely in our full entertainment report. But sending Jade and Matthew all our love and congratulations as well. Now let's see what's happening on the sports front. We kick off with local football. Soccer Premier League action continued last night with Bidvest Wits registering a 1-0 win over Black Leopards. That was at the Bidvest Wits Stadium. Terence Zukumanja broke the deadlock at the half-hour mark to secure the win for the home side. So after last night's results, Wits remain in 6th place in the standings. Black Leopards still at the bottom of the table in 16th. There'll be one PSL fixture this evening as Stellenbosch FC host reigning champions Mamelodi Sundowns. That kicks off at 7:30 at the Athlone Stadium. Then it was disappointment for Jose Mourinho's Tottenham Hotspur yet again as they crashed out of the UEFA Champions League last night. Spurs were thrashed 3-0 by RB Leipzig at the Red Bull Arena in Germany. Leipzig, along with the Italian club Atalanta, have now qualified for the competition's quarterfinals. Atalanta beat Valencia 4-3. There'll be 2 Champions League fixtures this evening as Liverpool host Atletico Madrid at Anfield, and then Paris Saint-Germain, they take on Borussia Dortmund at the Parc des Princes. And both matches will kick off at 10 p.m. tonight. Then on to rugby, the Six Nations fixture between France and Ireland, postponed from the 14th of February, will now be played at the end of October this year. France team manager announced this yesterday. The match was initially postponed in Paris due to concerns over the coronavirus outbreak. The fixture between Wales and Scotland will, however, still be played this coming weekend. And in the Women's Six Nations tournament, the fixtures between Wales and Scotland, that's also been postponed after a Scottish player has tested positive for the coronavirus. That's where we leave our sporting headlines for now. Let's take a look at the weather.
So much, G. Let's take a first look at the weather this morning. Happy hump day to everyone. Now, we've asked you to send in your sunrise pictures. Thank you so much to Nancy Govender, who sent us this stunning sunrise picture from Umkomaas in KZN, where times of clouds and sunshine are expected with pleasantly warm temperatures, reaching a maximum of 27 degrees today. Wendy Canterbury also sent us this beautiful sunrise from Muizenberg, right here in Cape Town, where partly cloudy conditions are expected, with a passing shower or 2 in the evening, reaching a maximum of 23 degrees. As always, we love seeing those pictures come through on our social media pages, so make sure that they keep coming through. But now let's take a look at the rest of the country. Starting off in Polokwane, your low is 17, peaking at 30 degrees. High humidity can be expected for you, Umbumbela, with a low of 20 and a maximum of 32. Pretoria, 18-30. Johannesburg, 16-27. And then a northwesterly wind of 15 kilometers per hour expected for you, Mahikeng, with a low of 19 and a maximum of 32. Klerksdorp, 16-30. Kimberley, 18-29. And then thunderstorms are also expected for Bloemfontein today, ranging from 15 to 26 degrees. A couple showers for Richards Bay today with a low of 20 and a maximum of 32. And then heavy rainfall expected for you, Pietermaritzburg, with a low of 18 and a maximum of 26. South Africa's playground, Durban, ranges from 22, peaking at 27. And then occasional rain coming through for Umtata with a low of 16 and a high of 24. East London, 19-23. And then thunderstorms expected for you, Craddock, with a low of 16 and a high of 27. High humidity expected today for Port Elizabeth, PE, with a low of 18 and a high of 23. George, 17-22. And then the lowest temperature in the country can be found in Sutherland with an all low of 13 and a high of 25. If you find yourself in the mother city, Cape Town, today, your low is 16 and your max is 26. Worcester, 16-27. Springbok, 10-26. And the highest temperature in the country can be found in Uppington today with a low of 19 and a high of 34. Whatever the weather, wherever you find yourself, make sure that it's a beautiful Wednesday and you make it count.
We're certainly going to make it count this morning by feeling our best because we've dressed it up a little this morning. Yeah.
Exactly. We decided to step it up and dress up. Listen, we took it
ready,
to a whole new level. We were actually talking earlier on saying, I feel like I shouldn't be moving too much.
Yeah, no, you must just be, you stay within yourself today.
Exactly.
We've gone for kind of a slight corporate-y edge this morning, but as we do, we have a little bit of fun with that, and you really can have fun with corporate edge. So take us through your stunning look this morning.
I decided to wear this button-up shirt. As you can see, it's a baby blue shirt.
Yeah.
Very, very cute. cute, very clean cut shirt as well, and paired it up with this very clean cut as well, pencil skirt, a navy pencil skirt that is designed to flatter and hug all the right curves.
It's working for your curves, girl.
Definitely.
The nice hair cuts the silhouette
hair
beautifully.
On my head,
fantastic.
absolutely, man. So it literally flatters and covers all the right curves for me. But what I love about this look mainly is that you can dress it up by adding a blazer, or you can dress it down by wearing a white t-shirt with the pencil skirt, or even wear it like this and with white, clean sneakers. I feel like this is a
that
definitely
could be really funky.
Yes, it's a must-have item.
Just
for
looking at how
anyone.
the red is popping, just bang some red stilettos on, just like but the blue works really, really well with the red.
Yes,
it's really nice.
red stilettos. Look at you,
I'm
G.
learning. No, you look fantastic. I think the joy of that corporate space at the moment is you don't have to kind of stay within the lines at the moment. Certainly from a guy's perspective, you can have a lot of fun. I've gone for a nice grey suit, just really chilled, because I love to dress a suit down. It's nice to get dressed up, but I won't be tucking in the shirt and putting on a tie unless I'm going to like an event or doing something like that.
Or those hardcore square shoes. I love the fact that you paired it up with sneakers.
Sneakers, some nice fancy socks, and leave the shirt untucked and have a little bit of fun with it. You could also dress it with a t-shirt if you wanted to, but if you needed to just ramp it up a little bit, I would really go with a nice, maybe a black tie, keep it simple, tuck the shirt in. You could have a lot of fun, but the main thing is push the boat out, have a little bit of fun with your own style this morning. Whatever style you prefer, you can be assured that you will find it at Woolworths. Shop these looks and a ton more. You can get your inspiration when you go into the store. You can go to Woolworths, you can go online, or you can go into the Woolworths app. What I love about the Woolworths apps is they really kind of give you some inspiration. They show you some of those composite looks, what you can do with the various items, and have a little bit of fun and post some pictures, please.
You guys are looking fab, dressed to the T, dressed to the nines, looking all sorts of hello this morning. But of course, it's a Wednesday, and we're talking all things health as well on the show today. Like I mentioned, Kim Abrams is in studio to talk about personal hygiene and how we can implement this with our kids. But also, we're posing this question to you on our social media platform this morning. We're saying, good morning, everybody. Coronavirus looming. What hygiene precautions do you take to stay safe? We'd like to hear from you, whether it's washing your hands, whether it's hand sanitizer, whether it's staying in a confined space or being in quarantine. We would love to hear from you. So head on over to our social media pages, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. And remember to use that hashtag Expresso Show so that we can hear your answers, hear what precautions you take to stay safe with the coronavirus looming. But right now, we are going to take a quick break, and we'll see you on the other side.
Welcome back. You are live with Expresso on the start of a brand new Wednesday morning. It's hump day, and probably the hottest topic at the moment has to be the coronavirus. Yes, but more importantly, the shift towards personal hygiene. The importance of good personal hygiene cannot be overrated now more than ever, obviously, with diseases and the common cold even about to approach as we head into winter. And with this morning, our focus shifting onto that, our regular family therapist and registered social worker, Kim Abrams, joins us to give us some tips on how parents can get that message across to their little ones. I'm all about that 20-second hand wash. I'm singing happy birthday and singing happy birthday twice, and then you know you've hit it. Morning, Kim.
Morning. I think it's a very important topic, especially for parents. We need to understand that hygiene starts with us first, and so that's obviously how we're going to implement it to the kids. But what are some of the risks and dangers that comes with not taking a good care of yourself and not introducing good hygiene to yourself and to the kids?
Yeah.
So, I mean, basically, if you think about it, it is that whole disease prevention and trying to limit not spreading bacteria and viruses between one another. That's one of the main reasons why we advocate personal hygiene. But on top of that, it's actually a lot deeper in terms of it's important to teach your child this so that they learn how to take care of themselves and take pride in themselves. And then that just organically increases their self-confidence and sense of just feeling like they are presentable to the world. It is a habit that children have to learn, though. They're not just...
And
kids are messy and they, you know, can do really gross things sometimes, but that's just part of their learning and development.
Just thinking of my feral child with food all over his face. And I'm like, every time I pick him up from creche, I'm like, is that really my child? But it's so important that we instill that early on. I mean, it's worth us thinking as adults how good our personal hygiene is. How often do we wash our hands? Maybe this kind of phase of the coronavirus educational cycle has kind of prompted us to all think a bit more about that. But why is it important to start that at a really early age?
So in terms of, we always want to start habits with children early. The earlier that they learn it, the more kind of just organic it comes in terms of just being part of their day-to-day functioning. So you want to start as early as possible with basic things, but remember that it is about keeping it fun. It's also,
Wash your hands.
Exactly, like songs and just teaching your child. I think parents underestimate that just because we know how to do it as adults, it means our child knows how to do it and to be clean, but they don't. They have no clue. So they are going to learn from you. So it's important to start as young as possible. I think once they start learning how to be potty trained is a good time.
Okay, I was going to ask that.
What age would you then recommend?
Yeah, so from about 3, 4. So from about 4 to 5 years old, your child should be able to brush their teeth. Obviously, you need to double check everything and put clothes on for themselves and to brush their hair. Obviously, if they are insisting that they bathe themselves, always just do a double check. But from about 4 years old, you want to start seeing some more learned independence.
Bit more of an independent take on that. Maybe some tips to help parents kind of break that first duck. How do we get started?
So the most important thing is you have to make it fun. Yeah. There's really no way around it. Obviously, if you have an older child, and remember that teens also go through a natural period where they do test boundaries, and part of that testing is just
teenage boys be dirty.
Yeah, leaving things around and not taking too much pride in their self-appearance. Some children are different. They're all just born differently. But in terms of what you want to be teaching your child, it's the washing the hands techniques by singing happy birthday is a great one. And then there's also another one of, especially if you have a little child, of teaching them to cough within their elbow. So you can be like, you know, you're going to take like a Dracula cape or a Superman cape and you're going to push it over you and you're going to cough in your elbow. Children need to learn those kind of basic things. And with everything going on right now in the media with the coronavirus, I think everybody's kind of on high alert. So also try to balance that you're not giving your child a sense of like a phobia about germs and getting dirty. It's a very fine balance.
Because we also know that at a young age they need a little bit of the dirt and the germs to build their immune system, and it's a part of learning is playing and getting dirty, but all within reason. And we're not trying to spread panic this morning. We are simply focusing on one message, that good personal hygiene is the most important thing.
All right, guys, listen, we're about to partake in the classic Expresso Omelette Challenge. It is that official. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is how it works. We have a very special guest with us this morning, Afternoon Express chef Chumi Mokhwai, and, of course, our very own Kuhle Adams. We had to decide who would represent us best in this challenge.
Oh, my goodness.
And we decided that Kuhle would be best. Now, each of the ladies have 2 minutes to fully cook and plate an omelette. Now, the goal is to finish first as quickly as possible, and they have to use all the ingredients given to them. And I'll be judging on 3 things, okay?
Okay.
Speed, so the first to plate, that's
Okay.
a point. Presentation, the
Okay.
best looking omelette, that's a point. Taste, that is a point, all right? So you have the opportunity to earn 3 points. Ladies, are you ready?
Ready.
Please face off. We need to make this official. Look at each other.
She's going to distract me.
No, please. This is official rules. Okay, here we go. There we go. Repping Afternoon Express, our sister show. Repping Expresso show. It's on. The pride of morning breakfast television is in your hands.
Oh,
Guta
come on.
Adams.
The pressure is real.
Listen, you can't lose this. You know how this works, right?
Dude,
This is as winner of 10. Okay. All right, here we go. We got an official clock. 2 minutes starts in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Let's get cracking. All right, here we go. Wow, to me, the quickest cracker. Look at that. Unbelievable. All right, already with... oh! To be going with 2 hands. Whisking the left, salt and pepper on the right. Guta whisking her heart out. She's in with the salt. The oil goes in with the right hand. Ambidexterity is the name of the game when it comes to Tumi. Now, Guta in with the oil. This is incredible stuff. The egg is already in. I'm not sure if the pan is hot enough yet. Now, Guta following suit. She's whisking like a beast. Look at her. She turns up the heat a little bit. I've got to check the heat. The flames are roaring. Unbelievable. Okay, Guta is in with the egg. Now, okay, I see a little bit of movement on Tumi's pan. These are the quiet moments.
I might have put a little bit too much oil.
Oh my goodness!
How do I undo
thrown
this?
away the entire challenge right now. She peppers the otherwise drowning omelette in that oil. Incredible stuff.
Whose side are you on, Dad?
I'm completely objective right about now. Okay, so we've got Tumi. 1 minute left, guys. Tumi's omelette is looking like it's nearly ready. I myself do prefer my omelette slightly runny, but for the purposes of this competition, fully cooked is what we're looking for. Oh my goodness, Tumi goes in with the plate on top, sealing in the heat. What is Guta doing? She's doing the same thing. Now, who's got the heat? All right, give me time check quickly. It's on your screen. You can see it. We've got about probably like 45 to 30 seconds left. 30 seconds
30
is the
seconds
countdown.
is absolutely no
Oh
way.
my
I need
word.
my ancestors to pull through for me right now because this is not working out nicely.
Good, they're calling on the ancestors. Remember, there are 3 points up for grabs. Oh my goodness.
Wait,
Not forgetting
what?
20 seconds to go. The chakalaka has gone in. What? Goodness, like, where's my chakalaka at? I've got some ingredients that
some
need to
cheese,
work.
girl.
You got some cheese?
I got
Oh,
some
okay.
cheese, girl.
Improv, I get
I got some
7,
cheese.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my goodness. Stop. Oh wow. Turn off your heat. It's too hot in this kitchen. That's incredible stuff. I've never seen anything like it. Oh, hey.
She's disqualified now.
Listen, I've never seen anything like it. At the very last count of 7 seconds, I saw Tumi going in with the hand in the pan and the spatula to get that egg out. That's incredible. That's dedication. You've got to tell me about that. You fight fire with fire. All right. So let's have a look. Let's have
It's a
a
little
look.
bit runny, just the way you like it, Kat.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, here we go. As I said, first point goes for speed.
Yes.
That was a very, very clear one. That point goes to Tumi, ladies and gentlemen. Presentation. When we look at this in terms of an omelette and what you want to see on an omelette, the little oil running off on the side there, you know, gives me a little bit of a itchy
It invites
cholesterol.
you. Come on now.
You know, it makes me feel, cholesterol. And on this side, I'm loving the little pinches of red. That is spot and spot over there. That point, I must say, objectively, goes to Guta Adams, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, everybody.
And now, of course, the taste test. Here we go. Let's get in there. Chakalaka. I've never had omelette with chakalaka before, but this is... Is it yours?
He keeps it real.
Okay, I've got to get a bit of the red here, and there's a bit of a cheesiness that goes with it as well. And yes, the runniness, but you know, we want it, you know, okay, cool.
I just said salmonella, that's all I'm going to say. Half cooked omelette.
You smiling? I see a smile. I see a smile.
Hold on.
Uh-uh.
Guta Adams, ladies and gentlemen, unbelievable. That's unbelievable. This is incredible. Although, what? Sorry, the judges, excuse me, our judges. Okay, all right.
What are you doing, Kat?
Guta, your Adams.
Your Adams. Okay, your Adams.
Your omelette wasn't fully cooked.
No, but you said you like it runny.
Oh, no, but for the purposes of this competition, fully cooked.
Guys, there's
Has to
no
happen.
ways. Hey?
So I have to
I
award
did that
another
on
point
purpose, though.
to me. It is a draw, ladies and gentlemen. It is a draw.
Okay.
Well done, ladies. That was absolutely incredible. I've never seen anything like it before. The Expresso Omelette Challenge is just a classic like that. Oh, and of course you can catch Dumi on Afternoon Express weekdays at 5 p.m. right here on SABC3. Of course, stick around as she gives us her fresh take on the classic nacho recipe a little bit later on. Looking forward to that. High five.
Dumi says she wants a rematch.
A rematch?
Yes.
Hey, we are ready. We are ready.
So, you girls ready for this? Ready to see who's the toughest, the fastest, the strongest? Well, this is no walk in the park. Train! Come on, cats, you're on a roll. Keep going, keep going. So you think you got what it takes to beat Katlego? When I said I was training new TV personalities, all you figured you had to do was try? But I thought you thought what, kitty cat? You can catch these two go head-to-head April 6th on Expresso in the Vitathine Adventure Race, where the men are separated from the boys. Come on, kitty cat, give me one more!
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
Welcome back to it. Your Feel Good Breakfast Show live, large and in charge on this Wednesday morning. Kuhle Adams, fresh off the omelette challenge. Repping the house well. Can we just give it up for Kuhle Adams, ladies and gentlemen?
Thank you, guys.
She repped Expresso
I would like
so
to thank
well.
my mom for...
And your ancestors for
my
putting
ancestors for putting through the last second.
All right, it's time for us right now, of course, to wish you, our beloved viewers out there, a happy birthday, if it is indeed your day today. And it is a special one indeed. But first, a little fun fact. So, Nkosinati Innocent Mapumulo, best known as Black Coffee, he celebrates his birthday today, and he turns, guess how old he is?
How old is...
44 years old.
No, what?
What? Black Coffee's 44 years old, guys. He's once again one of those people. He's like so awesome. I never thought he had a birthday or that he
Exactly.
aged. It's like, in the beginning, there was black coffee. And then...
There was black coffee and then there was light.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That was good, though. Come on, you need to give it to me.
All right. Very, very happy birthday to Black Coffee, a man who's given us such incredible memories, such incredible music. Of course, he rose to fame, and he is he's like out of our hands now. He now belongs to the world. Sold out concerts, done incredible things. He was actually part of one of our shows way back earlier in the day. And he did like a surprise segment where he was going around the country surprising people to kind of give them like a wake-up call. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and he surprised me on air as well. well. So happy birthday to you, sir. Please keep on bringing up the very best of yourself and inspiring us while you do so.
Absolutely, and we are so, so proud of you. Now on to you guys, our loved and loyal viewers. Now this is a video to Robert, who's celebrating his 9th birthday from his mommy. Let's check it out.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Robert. Happy birthday to you.
No, that's
Robert looks like he couldn't be bothered. It's just like...
But that's the thing. Have you ever noticed what people do when you sing happy birthday to them? They kind of have to stand awkwardly and smile and wait for you to be done. And when you really think about it, happy birthday can be quite a long song.
It's long.
Happy birthday.
And then they go into how old are you now? Oh.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kuhle. Happy birthday to you. How old are you? No, here guys, it can be long.
I'm out.
Happy birthday to you, Robert. Next time, maybe turn the phone on both of you. We love it. We love it. Happy birthday to you, Robert.
Absolutely
Okay,
love it,
let's
man.
get in on it. Happy 12th birthday to the Quads. The Quads. This is Mulalo, Dakalo, Ndivuo, and Ndamulelo. What? Oh, my word. May God continue to bless you all with all that you do. This is from your mom and the rest of the Kekana family. Happy birthday. I wish my uncle and Pastor Kevin Smithwick a very happy birthday. May you receive everything and of the best and godly. This is from your niece Beverly Heslop and family.
Happy 70th birthday, Patrick Isaacs. Lots of love from Brenna Tomilson and family. And also Tahila's celebrating her birthday. I wish my beautiful daughter a blessed 4th birthday. May you stay as sweet as you are, baby girl. Love from your daddy, mommy, and Jaden.
Tandega Zungele is celebrating her 36th birthday today. So the message goes, may you continue growing up well-mannered and loving. We love you, Tandega. This is from all of your family. And also, it's been a whole year since we're blessed with a beautiful baby girl. Aww. You're just 1 year old today, but you already know how to steal the heart of every single person that you meet. This is just the first of many happy birthdays. Happy first birthday, Jocelyn. This is from your mommy, your daddy, and the rest of the family. So cute.
A blessed 11th birthday to Alyssa. May God bless you, my angel. We love you from your mom, pa, ma, and the rest of the family. Jamie Lee and Ethan are also celebrating their birthday. A huge happy birthday to the two of you. May God continue to bless you with many more. Enjoy your day from the Mayor family.
Beautiful stuff. So if it is your special day today, happy birthday. Do send those videos through to us. 15 seconds long. We like them nice and short so we can fit in as many as possible. Send them to 0716406551. And those birthday messages, you can also send along with the pictures to birthdays@cardova.tv. And if today is your special day, happy birthday.
Okay, sweetie, time to blow out your candles.
Don't ruin the moment. Prevent allergies or cold and flu with fast-acting powder nasal spray from the Nexa range. Nexa. Brought to you by Pharmacodynamics.
Thank you so much and happy birthday again to everyone celebrating today. But let's dive right back into a very important conversation earlier in the show. Our family therapist and registered social worker and friend Kim Abrams joined us to talk about the importance of instilling a good personal hygiene practice from a young age, as early as possible, in fact, and how we get that right with our kids. We're going to continue that conversation right now with Kim.
So we spoke about like the good parts of it and what it means to instill good, but what is the negative effect of not having good personal hygiene?
So if you think about it, it is you have a higher risk of becoming ill.
Yeah.
Of getting sick. It's kind of like the most obvious reason why we kind of want to instill good habits. But you know, cleanliness is actually can be viewed as quite a positive. Yeah, there is that saying. Cleanliness is next to godliness, and there's kind of a big reason for that. In that it's not just about keeping your body physically clean, but also taking pride in your environment. So if you can teach your child from an early age, you know, take pride in how you present yourself, and it's not in terms of like trying to instill vanity in your child, but just to give them a sense of self-worth in that how you present yourself, unfortunately, in this world is how you're going to be perceived. So what message do you want to bring forward, and what can we do to achieve that? So that means like learning how to wash your hands and brush your teeth, take a bath, all of those things. So yeah, we want to avoid having children feel like they are missing something or exposed to becoming ill if they don't have good habits.
And don't send your child dirty and sick to creche so that they make all the other children sick.
Absolutely.
But I think it's also, it's worth taking on board that children really do model our behaviour. So, that's an important part I'm learning more and more as a parent, that you've got to just be careful of what you do and the patterns that you put out there. What are the most important points of hygiene, do you think, to instill in a child, especially going into flu season?
Yeah, so the thing is, children are going to get ill. The immune system is still building up. So I think parents also just need to be mindful that you can't protect your child from everything. But in terms of things that you want to really instill in your child, it is kind of learning how to wash your hands is kind of the most basic thing.
Soap and water.
Soap and water, and dry your hands. So, and don't just dry it on your top. Like, actually use the towel or whatever is around. So teaching them how to wash, teaching them they need to wash their hands when they come from school before they eat. That is the most important thing. But you remember, you've got to model that. So if you're saying wash your hands before you eat, have you as the parent done that? Because your children will start to call you out on it.
Just do it together,
Yeah, and brushing their teeth is also that can also be a very fun activity. There's like amazing toothbrushes out now that sing songs and just make it just amazing for children. And also just bathing, that can also be a fun activity to teach your child and to get them to kind of learn independence. But I'd say washing hands is kind of on the top.
And you
for all
sing
of
happy
us.
birthday twice, then you know you've washed your hands for long enough to be able to get rid of it. And soap and water are better, as a combination than hand sanitizers. Literally, this is where we're at the moment. Soap and water. Go back to basics.
Absolutely, it's what we all should be doing.
Final tips and advice for parents being like, oh my gosh, I want to implement it. I want to make sure that my child has it.
I'm failing as a parent.
I'm failing.
No, you're not failing as a parent. You're always learning as a parent. That is one thing to always remember. From birth until forever, you're learning. So try not to get paranoid about it. I know there's a lot of things going on in the media, but try not to teach your child to start to fear that becoming clean means we must be kind of scared about it and do it because there's a high risk or something bad happening. Make it fun for your child. Just go back to basics, like we discussed earlier, and then your child will learn, and practice makes perfect.
Just repeat it over. They don't necessarily need to know how many people have passed away because of the coronavirus.
Absolutely.
But you can still play your part in educating them and making it a lot of fun. I think that's the most important thing. Work on your singing voice just a little bit, even if you don't have one at all. But it's all about just instilling as early as possible a good hygiene practice. And I'm going to say it again. It starts with just washing your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds. Or happy birthday sometimes.
Yep, all right, listen, that of course is the biggest news in the world right now, the outbreak of the coronavirus in different parts of the world. And of course in South Africa we have our very own confirmed cases. So the question that we want to ask you is, how are you practicing safe hygiene in order to kind of keep yourself at arm's length, so to speak, of the coronavirus? And so we asked you this on our social media pages, and this is what you had to say.
Starting off with Unjilo Gazi. Good morning, Expresso family. Heart emoji. I wash my hands more often and I prefer food being prepared by moi only. And also, I avoid being around a crowd because you'll never know.
Wow.
How
do you avoid being around a crowd? You're around people.
Do you not work?
Obviously, that's a great way of doing it. I'm just like, how do you do it? How do you do it?
Let us know, you know?
All right.
Ule Mohang, Now, busy washing my hands like nobody's business. I think that's the one advice that has been given to many of us, to just wash your hands at, what's the song?
Happy birthday. Exactly. So Robert should have been washing his hands while his mom was singing. Khodi Nema Kushe says, washing my hands after everything I do, covering my mouth whenever I cough. That is brilliant. Brilliant stuff there. Josephine Pixton says, good morning, family. Always wash my hands from my half sleeve arm down to my hands. So, like, obviously from there, going all the way down and doing it at all times as well. So that's a great way of doing it.
Absolutely. And our regular photographer, Gary Okamp, says, my hygiene habits and routines have not changed. I have always taken care, like always using bacterial wipes to clean shopping trolleys, of course, and I've never touched an escalator handrail in decades. That's very true. I also do that. I can't touch it.
I just thought about it now. Like, how many times do you go shopping and then you just quickly, or you snatch the trolley, or you get dropped off at the airport, obviously, after getting off your bus from the plane, and then you just grab a trolley? But then there's like this...
Airport as well.
Yeah, and there's dispensers with those wet wipes, those sanitizers that you could use, but people hardly ever use them.
You disregard them because you're always in a rush, or you don't think it's important for you to actually utilize them. So that's good advice, actually, Gary.
I think fist bumping is also a thing that should become a thing now. Just like whenever you go, hey, how you doing? You good?
And don't take offense.
Nah? Yeah, I know that some people do.
Don't take offense.
Maybe even a virtual fist bump, like, hey, we're good. We don't need to touch. This is crazy. This coronavirus is really like breaking human contact, and now we're going to be like, leave some space for the...
Yeah, Jingo, Unjikola's City Bana. You know, she tries not to be around the crowd.
I still want to figure out how you do
Maybe
that.
she Skypes to work.
I Skype to work.
Hi, guys.
You make it sound like some form of public transport. I Skype to work.
Well, Skypes.
I know,
okay.
I know. All right, great stuff. Do keep interacting with us on our social media pages. Luckily, that's on the other side of a screen, so that's coronavirus free.
We're away from everything else.
Hashtag Expresso Show. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
Who says second-hand is second best? At Cash Converters, you can buy top brands at bargain prices and sell your goods for instant cash.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Thank you so much. Hopefully all of you stood up and went and washed your hands for 20 seconds during that ad break. But I'm going to reiterate right now, we're not trying to spread panic. We are simply reiterating the most important point, that you need to wash your hands regularly for 20 seconds and with soap and water. That'll do the job. Now let's see if we can inspire you this morning. The former heavyweight champion, one of the greatest sportsmen of all time, Muhammad Ali, an Olympic gold medalist, the first fighter to gain the heavyweight title 3 times. His professional career spans over 21 years, and he was also a very controversial figure during his career. Very outspoken. He spoke on issues of race, religion, and politics, and he had some very powerful words. James?
He said this: I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit, suffer now, and live the rest of your life as a champion. And what a champion he was. I mean, imagine, like, just thinking, like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to be here, but I know what the end goal is. I know that I want to be a champion, so I'm going to train my body, train myself, train everything, and make sure that that's the end result.
What I love about this is, as being naturally talented, probably one of the most naturally talented, fastest boxers that has ever lived, he still tasted defeat and had to pick himself back up. And that is very powerful. So I love those words. Hopefully that's inspired you guys this morning. No matter how tough those hard yards are, get through them so you can get what you deserve at the other end.
Well, that's a strange thing, right? You would have never expected Muhammad Ali to say that he hated training, especially given how good he was. You would have thought that he enjoyed every single minute of it. But when you think about it, it's not necessarily like the process that's pleasant. It's the result that you're chasing after. Absolutely. And so, with that in mind, when you think about strength and resistance training, usually people think about bodybuilders, bulky muscles, but it's more than just that, because strength and resistance training actually works on many facets. It helps bone health, bone wellness, muscular strength as well, of course, maintains flexibility and balance, stops you from getting injuries, all those kinds of things.
And now we have seen our very own Uncle Tabsy do yoga on the beach and some training in studio as well. Now, this is what happened when he visited a very popular gym in Stellenbosch.
Resistance exercise in no way means a resistance to exercise. In fact, it can help build muscle strength, help with your flexibility and your balance. It's all about that high-intensity training. And today I'm out in Stellenbosch at the F45 studio where the trainers are ready to put me through my paces. Wish me luck.
They call themselves the world's fastest growing functional training community. The F stands for functional training, a mix of circuit and HIIT style workouts geared towards everyday movements.
You literally feel every single part of your body being engaged in these exercises. It's not as easy as it seems, but it's a lot of fun. It's all about teamwork, right? Corbin, you really put me through my paces there. I mean, I was dripping, but really just enjoying it. But watching you run around like that and get into it was so inspiring. When did you get into fitness?
So it's been a passion of mine since I was in school. I've always been into fitness, any kind of functional sport, like rugby, golf, cricket, everything that's just outdoors. And since then, I just got into a passion with people. So this gives me an opportunity to take that passion with one-on-one with people all the time. I love it.
And man, you do it so well. The formula at F45 is so different. Tell us about how it works here.
So the functional aspects of it is what's awesome. It absolutely captures every part of your body, every muscle group, but this is where it's awesome. It's inclusive. So it doesn't matter who you are, where you've come from, you can adapt the movements to accommodate you. It's a time-based workout, so it's not that you have to do anything. We can accommodate, custom, edit, and you go at your own pace. So from your pace, we get you to your goals.
The one thing you've said throughout this entire session is resistance training. What exactly is resistance training?
So it's a different style of training. It's more slow and steady, focusing groups, isolation movements, rather than a broad, full body movement. So what we like to do is pinpoint one area of your body and maximize that focus on that.
Okay, I can feel this part of my body.
That's it.
It's definitely
over movement
today. It looks like a lot of fun and everyone is all laughs and a bit of sweat here and there, but it's not as simple as it looks. There must be a diet to it as well. It's not just fun and games, right?
Definitely. So what we actually do as F45 is we do an F45 8-week challenge. So what we do with that challenge is we give everybody a meal plan, set daily with your snacks included, shakes to take, and what we try to do is incorporate, doesn't matter who you are, what your goal is, we can customize that for your training.
For someone who hasn't worked out for a while, I came on a really good day to ease myself into it. Today was resistance, but it can get quite intense sometimes, right?
Yes, so with HIIT training, which stands for high intensity interval training, it can fluctuate quite a lot. What F45 does is it's a 45-minute class or workout, and we change it up every single day, so you never do the same workout twice.
You've made my experience here today so much fun. It's just so amazing. Music, loudness, is that the culture of this place?
Exactly that. So the culture of F45 is all about team training. It's actually our slogan is team training, life changing. What we like to do is have an environment where there's no mirrors around, nobody's competing against anybody. It's actually the opposite. It's building people up, making new friendships, and enjoying your actual daily workouts.
The beauty of all of this, it's fitness for people of all ages, which is fantastic, but also 45 minutes of your day, which sounds like nothing.
Absolutely. And that includes everything from your warm-up to your workout and your stretch afterwards.
Look at the time. I think I can do 5 more minutes. Should we go?
Let's go.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Good job.
Leandi. Woo! Put it here, baby girl. Put it here. I love it. Thank you so much.
Nice.
Wow. Okay, that was a workout.
Getting them gains.
We should actually do one of those group workouts.
Yeah, it's all about the group, man.
Yeah? I mean, Tubbsy makes it look so easy.
What? Why are you?
I'll be a cheerleader. I'll be like, yeah.
What do you mean you'll be a cheerleader?
Hello, guys.
Hey?
But I'd actually join. I feel
You
so
would, both
bad.
of you have got your fitness on.
Why do you feel bad?
I feel bad for kind of resisting working out and things of that sort, because I used to be quite fit, eh?
Oh, yes?
Why?
I used to be that girl.
20 years ago? What
Why?
Okay, maybe like
Why are you
5
resisting it,
years ago.
Kutle?
5
I
years ago
don't
when you
know.
were 5.
Growing up, it's part of adulting. You know, way back in my time, I used to be active. I used to be excited about life.
Now, at the ripe old age of 17, you are No, I absolutely love that. Well done, Uncle Tubbsy, for putting himself into that. We're going to have a lot of fun after the break. Return with a little bit of music.
Absolutely, looking forward. Gorilla Classics are in the studio, guys. You should hear these guys. Absolutely amazing. Stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We'll be right back. The 14th Annual South African Film and Television Awards are at hand, and we as the Expresso family are particularly proud and excited that Graham Richards, our very own G-Man, has been nominated among the very best television presenters in all the land, and you as the public have the power to decide.
And voting is very simple. All you need to do is dial *120 *45884# and choose the category Best TV Presenter and #3 Graham Richards.
We're all voting for Graham, and so should you.
Catch him weekdays on your Feel Good Breakfast Show from 6 to 9 a.m. only on SABC3, where the stage
is yours.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Happy Wednesday, and thanks for joining us at the start of a brand new day. Now, Zurich-based Gorilla Classics creates inspiring and spontaneous concert experiences in unique settings in public spaces, bringing classical music to a young and broad audience. And the year 2020, a very special one, which marks the beginning of a new chapter for Gorilla Classics with a tour through South Africa and Switzerland. And it's so great to have them here with us. We have Hiromi, Yannick, as well as Noma Postina, who join us to chat about what Gorilla Classics is all about, what they're going to be doing, and of course later on we'll be hearing some music. So welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. We had the pleasure of hearing a snippet of what we can expect this morning, and I cannot wait because it sounds absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's classical music, but how would you say that classical music has changed in the 21st century?
That's a big question.
Yeah, it's a very big question. Let's unpack it slowly.
So we're addressing the question of classical music on the African continent and on the European part. Yes. So we ask, like, what is classical music Noma Postile plays, and what do we play in the concert houses in Switzerland? And Neo Moyanga's composition tries to merge these styles.
Yeah.
That's what's changing in the 21st century. We're all mobile and mixed, and we start to redefine classical music like that.
Yeah, making it more accessible, because it is a beautiful and enjoyable music that I think for long has held that stigma that it's only reserved for a certain class.
An exclusive class.
Now it's more accessible. In terms of the history of Gorilla Classics, tell us about where Gorilla Classics comes from and what it is that you essentially do.
So I founded it 2.5 years ago, and it is to bring classical music out of the concert halls, as you said, out of this little, maybe elite space into public space, to make it accessible for everybody.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that, man. It's the first time that you guys are touring South Africa. What was the motivation behind that, and how would you then say that music connects people globally?
So I stood in Park Station. A friend was building a medical care center there. I was visiting South Africa.
Park Station in Johannesburg?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he heard that we are playing for the commuters in Zurich, like to accompany their souls in the morning while the sun rises. And he was like, you need to do this in South Africa. So this is when we said, okay.
I mean, just
That's
imagine.
a beautiful
yeah.
way of putting it, accompanying souls as the sun rises in the morning. You know?
And Yannick, I understand you've literally just recently arrived in South Africa from Switzerland. How has your time been? Because you come all the way from the Swiss mountains.
Yeah, it has been quite exciting yet. I mean, we arrived yesterday and then we got a call from Hiromi saying, hey guys, we have to go to an interview, and then we had to, like, we just arrived, we checked in, we put our stuff in the Airbnb, and then we already went to the radio show. That was exciting. And then yesterday we went to the Lion's Head. Yeah, we did it already. So it was amazing.
It's a beautiful place, hey?
Beautiful. I mean, we're used to the mountains, like in Switzerland, but here it's also nice to see it's different, of course, but the hiking experience was
Yeah, yours are a little bit
amazing.
colder than ours, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
ours are a bit more hike-friendly. But Nomaposile, tell us about your introduction to Gorilla Classics and the collaboration that is happening here.
Oh, we have a beautiful collaboration that is happening because as we represent the ancient voices, and then what we do African music.
Yes.
So they're doing classical music. So how we collaborate, we combine those two. So what's coming out of that is so beautiful, it's so amazing. And then also the instruments that we are using, we're using African instruments. So later on, people will say what we play. Because we play wadi, and then they playing vibraphones, and then what Nehemiah Muyanga composed, it's a Golden song, which is a South African song. It's an olden folk song. So, and then they playing it in a classical way, and then we play it in a African way. So you'll see.
I can't wait.
Wow.
I mean, the combination of the two different elements obviously is explosive, and it's not something that we hear every single day, but I can imagine that it comes with its own challenges to kind of put those two genres of music together. What are some of those challenges?
We're actually starting rehearsals today.
Oh, wow.
So this is the first time in the TV studio that everybody meets.
This is an exclusive.
That's crazy cool.
But that's why the merch will only be heard in the premiere in Youngblood on Thursday.
Yeah.
So here you will hear these amazing musicians separately.
Yes.
Then we will study hard together and bring it together. There will be challenges. We need to go out of our comfort zones and find new ways together.
Yeah, and there are two shows that you are performing, the 12th and the 13th, and the 14th, so there's three shows. So there's Youngblood Africa in Cape Town, 12th of March, and then the Root Spring Musenberg, Cape Town, 13th of March, and at the Zeitz-Mocha in Cape Town on the 14th of March. Oh, man, that's going to be a wonderful experience that I think people will be very, very delighted by. I'm curious to ask this question, although I'm going to feel a little bit silly, because you said earlier on, Hiromi, that Nomaposile can yodel.
That's what she did the
African
first time.
yodeling?
When I saw her, she started yodeling, and I
Do
was
you mean
like,
like ululation?
Our...
Not yelelelele.
Oh. Okay, wait. That's
so that it collaborates with them, because in Switzerland they do a yodeling too.
But then you put your own African touch to it.
I can't yodel. My mom can yodel.
Come on.
Can you yodel?
No.
These are the challenges we're going to face, because she takes the challenge and we're like, scared.
Guys, I've had a dream for a very long time in my life. I've always wanted to be a yodeler.
Okay, so give it a try.
So wait. Nomaposile, while you do the African yodeling, I'm going to try and...
Okay.
Go for it.
Okay. Go, yeah. Go.
Nomaposile.
You must go.
It's a tough act to follow, but we'll give it a shot. Let's dive right in with our national news first. The Gauteng High Court in Pretoria yesterday set aside public protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane's report into President Cyril Ramaphosa, which found that he deliberately misled Parliament about a donation to his ANC presidential campaign. The court described Mkhwebane's findings against the president as irrational, reckless and informed by misdirected conflation and confusion. It found she displayed, and we quote, a complete lack of basic knowledge of the law and its application. Mkhwebane was ordered to pay Ramaphosa's costs on a punitive scale. Then a plane left South Africa last night at 9 o'clock to fetch South Africans from Wuhan in China, the epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak. In a statement, the interministerial task team responsible for the management of the country's readiness to handle the spread of COVID-19 announced that all plans had been finalized for the preparation of the 122 South Africans' return who currently reside in the affected city. They'll be back in South Africa by Friday. Then further afield on the international president, Chinese President Xi Jinping yesterday visited Wuhan for the first time since the coronavirus outbreak began, in an apparent sign that he's trying to claim victory over the disease now that the country has turned a corner with it. His visit to Wuhan, where the coronavirus first broke out, came as the country records fewer and fewer cases each day. China recorded only 19 new cases yesterday. He also visited Wuhan's Huoshanshan hospital, which city authorities had panic-built in late January to accommodate coronavirus patients, and they did it in a matter of mere days. Then, coming back to the continent, two extremely rare white giraffes have been killed by poachers in northeastern Kenya, conservationists said yesterday. Rangers found the carcasses of the female and her calf in a village in northeastern Kenya's Garissa County. A third white giraffe is still alive, and it's thought to be the only remaining one in the world. Their white appearance is due to a rare condition called leucism, which causes skin cells to have no pigmentation. Poachers have not yet been identified or their motives made clear. And now, some excellent news from the HIV and AIDS scene. Excellent news from the HIV and AIDS scene is that a man from London has become the second person in the world to be cured of HIV. Adam Castelhao is still free of the virus more than 30 months after stopping antiretroviral therapy. He was cured by a stem cell treatment he received for a cancer he also had, and that the Lancet HIV journal has reported this. In 2011, Timothy Brown, the so-called Berlin patient, became the first person reported as cured of HIV. Lead researcher Professor Ravindra Kumar Gupta of Cambridge University said this represents HIV cure with almost certainty. He said their findings show that the success of stem cell transplantation as a cure for HIV, first reported 9 years ago with regards to the Berlin patient, can indeed be replicated. That's where we leave our headlines for now. Let's delve into the sport. We kick it off with football. Premier Soccer League action continued last night with Bidvest Wits registering a 1-0 win over Black Leopards at the Bidvest Stadium. Terence Zukomanja broke the deadlock at the half-hour mark to secure the win for the home side. And after last night's results, that means Wits remains 6th in the standings. Black Leopards still rooted to the bottom of the table on a 16th. There will be one PSL fixture this evening as newcomer Stellenbosch FC, they host the reigning champions Mamelodi Sundowns. That kicks off at 7:30 this evening at the Athlone Stadium. Staying with football, it was fresh disappointment for Jose Mourinho's Tottenham Hotspur as they crashed out of the UEFA Champions League last night. Spurs were thrashed 3-0 by RB Leipzig at the Red Bull Arena in Germany. Leipzig, along with Italian club Atalanta, have now qualified for the competition quarterfinals. Atalanta beat Valencia 4-3 in a thriller. There'll be two Champions League fixtures this evening. Liverpool host Atletico Madrid at Anfield, and Paris Saint-Germain go up against Borussia Dortmund at the Parc des Princes. Both matches will kick off at 10 p.m. tonight. Then on to rugby news. The Six Nations fixture between France and Ireland, postponed from the 14th of February, will now be played at the end of October this year. France team manager announced this yesterday. The match was initially postponed in Paris due to concerns over the coronavirus outbreak. The fixture between Wales and Scotland will, however, still be played this coming weekend. Then in the Women's Six Nations tournament, the fixture between Wales and Scotland has also been postponed after a Scottish player tested positive for the coronavirus. That's where we leave our sporting headlines for now. Let's take a look at the roads.
The time is now 7:03. It's time to have the first look at what's happening on the roads. Starting off in Gauteng Centurion, there has been an accident on the N1 southbound after Samrand Avenue. The left lane is blocked. Please approach this area with caution. And now down to the Western Cape, Belhar. On Stellenbosch Arterial Road, there is protest action before Belhar Road. A few roads are closed due to obstructions. Please avoid the area and use an alternative mode of transport this morning. And lastly, Metro Rail Southern Line. There is signal power failure due to earlier load shedding impacting the train service on the Simonstown line. Trains will terminate at Fish Hook until further notice, and commuters are advised to use an alternative mode of transport this morning. That's your 7 o'clock traffic roundup. Right now it's time for the weather with Jamie.
Thank you so much, Kutle. It's a beautiful Wednesday. Happy Hump Day to everybody. We've asked you to send in your sunrise pictures this morning, as we always do. And one of them came through from Joan Cameron, who sent us this amazing skyline from Britannia Bay, where partly sunny conditions are expected with increasing cloud cover towards the evening and a light northwesterly wind reaching a maximum of only 18 degrees. So you might want to put on a jacket today. Now, Alan Rudnicki also sent us this spectacular grey skyline from Stellenbosch, where mainly cloudy conditions are expected with occasional sunshine and a couple of showers in the evening, reaching a maximum of 28 degrees. Keep those pictures coming in, keep them flowing on our social media pages. But right now, let's take a look at the rest of the country. Starting off in Polokwane, your low is 17, peaking at 30 degrees. High humidity can be expected for you, Mbombela, ranging from 20, peaking at 32 degrees. Pretoria, 18-30. Johannesburg, 16-27. And then a northwesterly wind of 15 kilometers per hour can be expected for you, Mahikeng, with a low of 19 and a maximum of 32. Klerksdorp, 16-30. Kimberley, 18-29. And then thunderstorms are also expected for Bloemfontein today with a low of 15 and a high of 26. A couple of showers expected for Richards Bay today, ranging from 20 and peaking at 32. And then heavy rainfall coming through for you, Pietermaritzburg, with a low of 18 and a high of 26. If you find yourself in South Africa's playground today, Durban, your low is 22 and your high is 27. And then occasional rain coming through from Tata today with a low of 16 and a high of 24. East London, 19-23. And then thunderstorms can be seen and expected for Craddock today with a low of 16 and a high of 27. High humidity coming through for Port Elizabeth PE today, ranging from 18 to 23 degrees. George, 17-22. And the coolest start to the morning can be found in Sutherland today with a low of 13 and a high of 25. If you find yourself in the mother city, Cape Town today, your range is 16 and 26. Worcester, 16-27. Springbok, 10-26. And the highest temperature in the country can be found in Uppington today with a low of 19 and a high of 34. Whatever the weather, wherever you find yourself, happy hump day, everybody.
Hey, guys, listen, Chef Dumi's got us here intrigued by her conversationals. We're talking about the coronavirus.
Yes.
It is news all over the world, and we've been talking about various ways in which you can try and keep yourself at arm's length from contracting the virus by obviously general hygienic practices, washing your hands, making sure that you cough into your elbow, you know, not exposing yourself to unnecessary things that might compromise your immune system. We were talking about hygiene in the kitchen.
Yes.
And how much do you practice hygiene in the kitchen?
It is probably one of the most important things to do in the kitchen, because if you don't do that, you're at risk of basically getting the entire, whoever that eats your food is at risk.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of times they say that if you're sick, if you're a chef and you're sick in the kitchen, rather stay home. Don't even come to the kitchen, because whatever bug you might have could be transferred if correct hygiene processes are not followed. So that's how, like, we literally are, we could be, I know doctors and people that are sick they say to you, make sure you stay away, but we as chefs are also one of the riskiest.
At risk.
Yeah, but we could at risk of transferring.
Okay. So when it comes to cooking food, you make sure it's cooked well, you wash it well, all those kinds of things.
Wash it well, you wash yourself well, you wash your clothes well.
The utensils that you use as well.
Disinfecting, sanitizing, it's very important. There's steps that have to be followed. You wash down and then you sanitize. Your hands, you wash down, then you sanitize. There always has to be steps followed. That's why people can get sick so easily.
I feel so much more confident that I ate your omelette a bit earlier.
Because I did wash my hands.
Oh, girl,
Just
I
saying.
did wash my hands too, okay, and I sanitized.
After whipping your behind in that omelette challenge. Listen, stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast show. Chef Tumi still here with us for the morning. Of course, she is the resident chef at Afternoon Express, and we will be delving into some of her skills a little bit later on.
Next time on Tropical Island of Treasure Curacao. After some dramatic twists in the first week of team challenges, it's time for the first elimination.
What?
Now we get to see who will double-cross who.
What was the strategy? We're not a threat.
Betrayal always comes from those closest to you.
How do you play this game with an honest heart?
Catch Tropical Island of Treasure Curacao Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. Repeat Saturdays at 8 p.m. only on SABC3.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. What a Wednesday morning it's been so far. I hope that you've been enjoying it, and thank you for joining us at the start of a brand new day. Now, last year, a very exciting brand new TV show made its way onto our screens, a reality TV show at that, foodie competition called The Taste Master. It took South Africa by storm, and Tumi Chumi Mokhwai came away victorious. She's taken on her exhilarating new role of being the resident foodie on Afternoon Express with all that she can muster. And she's also joining us this morning to share more about her journey and what it's been like so far being in the limelight. Ladies and gentlemen, Afrika Boraka Para. Let's give a very warm Expresso welcome to Tumi Mokhwai. Yay! Celebrate! Ululate!
Thank you so much for joining us. It's an early start for you, I believe.
Thank you for having me. I'm not used to this, guys.
But you're doing well so far. You're doing well. Being on Taste Masters. Yes, the Taste Master definitely tested your skills and your creativity. How did that process help you in preparation to be on live TV every single day?
I think the one thing I did take away from that show is basically being able to think on your feet. Because a lot of the challenges that we had were ones where you couldn't necessarily plan for. So it was a situation where I've got the challenge, think on your feet, what do you do? So even with the show, it's like a lot of the times, being that it's live, a lot of the times I'll be in a situation where maybe I might have forgotten something about the recipe. So I have to think of how do I cover that and just actually act cool, but still be able to relay the message of what I'm doing with my recipe. If there's any educational points that I perhaps remembered in my head, if I forget something, how do I still not look like I just forgot everything I
and that is a skill that you know, people work over many years to hone. How long has it been now? How many weeks on live air now?
It's been a month now.
A month now, full on 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Have there been any things that you've learned that you think, man, I never knew that doing TV was like this?
I've actually had more fun than learning.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't learn
that's
anything,
amazing.
but I've actually had so much more fun.
Yeah.
Because I've had to think out the box. I've had to, you know, because this is a side of me that people know that I'm forward, gap up. Yeah. But I get to express myself in such a way, one, with my food, but two, just be myself. I don't actually have to, there's no acting involved here. It's literally just me being me.
And that's the beauty of live TV.
Yeah, and I'm enjoying it a lot, actually.
And personality drives live TV, so it's very important to also just be lively and, as you've mentioned, think on your feet. Now you are working with people, with one person who's been in the entertainment industry for 15 years, Hygiene. And Upalisa was also like a product of a reality competition, you know, presenter search on 3, and she's been doing this for a while as well. How has the merge been for you? I mean, it's your first time being on live TV.
I think the one thing for me is I've always been surrounded by powerful women. And then just being able to come onto the show now and have 2 women who are so vast in their careers in terms of experience, but then they make it so easy for me. It feels like a family. Honestly, there's Jeannie, who's got all this experience. She's like very, very experienced. And then there's Pali, who's come into the industry very, very recently, but he's doing so well. They make it easy for me. They make it fun. So more than anything, I actually enjoy working with them because of how fun it is. I don't have to overthink it. They make it very comfortable for me.
And as you continue your journey on Afternoon Express, what are some of the things that you're looking to experience, not just on the show itself, but, you know, the bigger goals that you have for yourself? What do you want to achieve?
There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot. And I think 2020 has been that year for me. There's a lot more that I want to go for. And I think people should just have that mindset. Just do it. Whatever your mind is set, what you've set in your mind, do it. I'm looking to perhaps get my own food truck this year.
Nice.
Afternoon Express, and I can do something there. Afternoon Express food truck or something.
Nice,
But I'm hoping to launch a couple of food trucks because I want to go into a franchise of that sort. But also, I'd like to stay on TV. For a while. But
well, you keep doing the wonderful work that you are, and I'm very, very sure that, you know, that certainly won't be a problem. And you are a joy to see on screen.
Thank
you. Your personality is lively, it's bubbly. I love engaging with you. I just want to, like, throw a question at you, and you come back with the coolest response. I'm like, I want to talk some more. I want to talk some more.
Thank you.
Imagine just walking out the studio and being like, yeah, I just want to grab a bite at Chumi.
Yes. Exactly.
Chumi. Love it.
Chumi, thank you.
Love it.
All right, well, there you can see it on your screens. You can catch Chef Dumi and her excellent foodie skills on Afternoon Express weekdays at 5 p.m. on SABC3. And I'm looking forward to your nacho recipe later on, because I'm a big fan of nachos. You know how to...
I promise you probably won't want any other nachos after this.
A food truck and nachos together with a chumi. I'm just putting it out there.
I love her. Energy is so amazing.
I had a front row seat. I was working on the production of The Tastemaster and watched her journey as she kind of grew and grew and grew, and just was so amazing to watch that evolution. So she is definite worthy winner of the place that she's taken. We love it a bit.
Of course. Now, I'm celebrating one local chef to indulging in local cuisine. It's made of a white half-loaf bread filled with like meaty fillings, my mondwater squints, and of course it's anything to get that tummy nice and full. Like
no, it's the ultimate gap filler. We are talking about a quarter, and maybe you've needed a little extra inspiration, some encouragement to make the most perfect quarter for your taste profile, and that's, I think, is important because everyone has their own little favorites here. Well, Tsolo this morning is going to take us to the Quarter King in Soweto, where they do it better than anyone else, to learn how to make it, but also, more importantly, how to eat it.
Sasco, baking together since 1930.
The Sasco Mzansi bread search had thousands of South Africans voting for the best Gotta spot in town, and most popular by far was Soweto's Gotta King.
So, Rulani, tell me about your love for kottas. How did it all begin and how did you turn this love into a business?
Firstly, it started way back when I was still in school. At school, I would buy kottas. I loved kottas, and I always had a burning desire for business, you know? So when my dad lost his job, we had to make a means of living. So that's where we started brainstorming, all of us as a family. What can we do? Because now we have to leave. The only thing we knew was to make food. So we started selling food back then in 2010. I took over the business from my dad because we used to work from hand to mouth. So it needed some fresh ideas. I had went to a school, the International Hotel School in Sandton, to study food and beverage services. I developed a brand, you know, which is Kotta King. So a brand that can liaise with people, a brand that people love. So that's how we work.
I think the Sasco Mzansi Bread Search is such a great platform because it really gives budding businesses like this the opportunity to grow and get their name out there even more. So, Rulani, tell me how it feels like to be the #1 spot in the Sasco Mzansi Bread Search for the best place to get a kotta.
I'm very proud, and thanks to all the supporters out there. I'm happy. I don't know what to say. I'm out of words. But I'm just proud of my team also at the background. They're the ones that made it possible.
So what really makes a kotta is how you make it. I would say it's a kotta of bread, chips, sauces, and other ingredients that I put in it. What makes Kotta King the best is because we have our own signature sauce and we make kottas out of love. We just make them out of love.
Mostly people, when they get here into the store, they want the #1 selling kotta. So it's a King Silas kotta. And that kotta was named after my dad. His name is Silas. So whenever he comes to the store, he'd say, "Son, please make me a kotta." So obviously I know which kottas he likes. So it's kotta with a rump steak and a beef patty, cheese and egg, some lettuce, pickles and chips, nicely toasted with our own signature sauces, obviously. And that's a bang. He loves it.
The highlight of my experience is seeing how the kotta was made from scratch. It's like a work of art. I mean, these chefs really take what they do so seriously. It's really nice to witness.
How does one eat a kotta? There's a whole lot of ways of eating a kotta. Personally, I eat kotta all round. I eat the crust, then leave the relish inside, then I eat the relish later.
I think kottas are very reflective of our culture because it has all the ingredients we grew up eating in our kottas when we were growing up. The Russian, the egg, the chips, and more importantly, the fresh Sasco white bread. It's a truly South African township culinary experience. If you want the original flavor of a thing, you have to go to the source, and that is exactly what we've done here today. Although experimenting with the kotta has become so popular, there's a reason why it's still around and forms such a huge part of our food culture here in South Africa. On that note, let's dig in. Man, eating a Kotta King kotta was one of the best experiences I've had. The best culinary experiences that I've had. It's so tasty, from the sauce to the ingredients to everything. Listen, if you're in and around Soweto, you have to call these guys and order one.
Sasco, baking together since 1930.
Yeah, there's nothing quite like a good kotta, isn't there?
Absolutely not. Yeah? What's your favorite filling again?
Oh, I'll have to go for the classic, just minced meat and ditapole.
Ditapole?
Yeah, potatoes. Yeah, exactly. Just like we used to do it back, guys. Wena?
Actually, the same as Sis Princess. Sis Princess, yeah. What's yours again?
Russian and chips.
Yeah, just Russian and chips. Yeah. With ikanda and cheese and sweet chili sauce.
Oh, you go in on the flavor.
Like you have to. Like if you're going kotta, you have to go all in or nothing.
Yeah, ne?
Yes.
That's when your kotta goes from a kotta to kotta, because it's so nice.
Kotta. Yours has mince. Yours is a quarter.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a quarter. Sis Princess, I see you're slaying in all black everything. What's happening?
Yeah, that's my new outfit, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Looking
good.
With the pop on the hair as well, you got to recognize what's happening up there. Very nice, very nice.
Thank you.
But what are we having this morning? What are we eating this morning?
Chocolate muffin for Kuhle.
Oh, yes. Always.
For you.
Thank you very much.
Always.
Do you know that since yesterday, when you gave Kuhle those 2 blueberry muffins, I still haven't seen even ikota of it. No. I have not seen a quarter of that muffin. Not even a crumb. Not even a crumble.
But I told you I'm going to eat both of them, though.
I thought you were kidding. You were just...
No, I just shouted.
Ha la la.
Because he was coming for me.
And I was, eh?
Yeah, you were coming.
I failed, though. As for photosynthesis, get out of here, man. What are you talking about? So we're going to take a short break. We'll see you on the other
Maybe
side.
we can share these ones. Share.
You know, okay, we can make them. I'll have this. Thank you. Thank you.
Only the highest grade Arabica beans. McCafe. Great coffee, simple. See you after the break. Who says second hand is second best? At Cash Converters, you can buy top brands at bargain prices and sell your goods for instant cash.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA. Made with love by Clover.
Well, we're about to spice up your week. We're making clover butter oil spicy nachos. And this popular takeaway is very easy to make and it'll be the perfect party snack or dinner snack to share with your friends. And here to show us how to make these is Afternoon Express's resident chef, Dumi Mukhwai, who promised us earlier on that once you have these nachos, you will never want to have any nachos ever again.
Yes.
And I'm going to hold you to that promise, Dumi.
Well,
yeah?
Let's get started then.
Well, why are we wasting time even? Okay, so what do we have going on in the pan right now?
So over here, we're going to start with our onions that we're going to saute. And then to that, I'm going to add our spices and our beans, because what we want to try and do is make sure that these beans are cooked enough so we can mash them down, because we want to have some sustenance, Nyana.
Okay,
See?
yes. So the spice mix that you've got there, I see paprika, I see...
Let's see how good you are at it. What else do you see?
Okay, that's where I guess.
All right. You see paprika, cumin, and some coriander powder as well.
Okay, great
So these flavors these spices are very, very Mexican. Very. Like every single time you have a Mexican recipe, I promise you there will be cumin in there, because it's one of the signature spices that they use in their cooking. We're going to add some garlic, because garlic makes everything all right.
It really does, eh? Are you a firm believer in the more garlic, just like the better in general?
Yeah, but just stay away from people. Don't get too close.
Oh, wow. People must keep themselves to themselves. We are eating here. We're trying to make delicious food.
I was telling someone that I love the smell of garlic.
Yeah?
But I don't like the smell of garlic on someone's...
I like the smell of garlic, but I don't like the smell of people. That should be the new saying. Listen, when you start seasoning, right?
Yes.
Now, I'm now thinking back to when I was cooking last night. When should you start seasoning? Because now you added the spices, you added the garlic, then you season. Is it a case of seasoning as early as possible, or only once you've got like the main core of the ingredients in?
You know what I think? This is how I cook.
Yeah.
The reason I add the spices at the beginning is because I want everything that goes in there after that to absorb that flavor.
Yes.
So if you're going to add your spices a little too late, yes, it still might be there, but won't be as strong. So I want the flavor to be in. That's why I put in my garlic now, because I want everything to have a garlicky flavor. I want that cumin to be strong enough. I want the flavors to actually mellow in and just, you know, get absorbed. You know?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to do over here. And then, you know, Tumi likes to add that twist to everything, because, like, that's who I am.
What's your twist?
I'm adding some shakalaka in here.
Are you like the shakalaka queen?
Dude, like, I make a mean chakalaka.
Yeah,
okay?
but
Just saying.
it's your thing.
It's my thing.
But one day we'll get you back to actually show us how to make that.
How to make it from scratch, right?
Exactly.
And how to make it the right way. So you people must stop adding fruits and stuff to chakalaka and all this agriculture that people are adding.
You sound like you're about to start a movement.
All right, over here, so our chakalaka and bean mixture is already done. So all we're going to do now is just mash it down. So it creates a bit of a paste.
Okay.
And then we're going to add this to our nachos that have already been layered for us. A lot of people like to add their cheese and stuff at the top of the nachos. I like to layer it almost like a somewhat of a
cake.
Lasagna sort. Yes.
Lasagna, cake, whatever
you want to call it, man.
All right. Okay,
so
good.
I'm going to go over here with my...
Oh, this is smelling good,
mixture.
though. This is smelling fantastic.
We're just going to nicely layer it on top here.
Good stuff, good
So
stuff.
one thing I like about dishes like this is you can literally add your own twist to it. You can add whatever you feel like adding to it. Just make sure you follow my recipe. If you want to get started, actually, we've got some salsa over here. We've got tomatoes with some coriander. We've got some red onions, some red wine, some vinegar, as well as some sugar over there. So just put it all together there so it makes a nice little salsa.
Cool stuff. And then you can SMS the keyword Clover to 33728 and we'll send you the link to the recipe as well as the ingredients list so that you can make this at home. Okay. Then I need a spooniana, I think, just to mix it up.
Yes, please. There you go.
Oh, man, that combination that you've got in the pan is smelling incredible.
It is delicious. You could literally eat this as an afternoon snack, an evening snack. You could impress with it. If you want to get a honey, they say the way to a man's heart is through the stomach. Whatever works for you.
If you want to get a man's, just get your man's on these nachos.
Just make sure.
All right, this looks nice and ready. What are we doing over here? I've got some avo, I've got some chili, and it looks like some lemon juice.
To be done. Yes, you are correct. So you know your stuff.
So I'm going to just mix them all up?
All up in there, just smash it all up with that fork.
Is the chili for inside the guac or for the garnishing? So you go all the way?
Go in, Baba.
Maybe just leave a couple of them for the garnishing at the end there.
Unless you want to eat... well, not really.
Like, what is this, Katafo? You just like left one little... Never mind, just put everything in there.
Just put it in there.
And then you smash it. I love guacamole that is made fresh from an avocado. Not like, you know, for convenience, let's say if you're in a rush, fine, have the store-bought one. But I find that to sometimes be kind of too seasoned, too salty. I prefer managing my own flavor profile when I'm making a guacamole. So then, you know, sometimes just add, I'd add paprika just to give it a bit of a smokiness to it.
I agree with you because all these other pre-made stuff already have preservatives and all those things. So we're trying to avoid that. As it is, we've been talking about people trying to make sure their immune systems are strong enough for corona, fighting corona, the corona this, corona that. So it is best to try and make a lot of your stuff from fresh because then you make sure you maintain all those nutrients and flavors. So yeah, I agree with you. I also prefer a nicely fresh-made guac to a store-bought one.
Here we go. And of course, in the kitchen, while making this recipe, we were using clover butter oil, which is a sunflower and butter oil blend. It comes in a variety that allows for usage on occasions for cooking, for frying, and for baking. It requires no refrigeration with a 180-day shelf life with the richness and taste of butter. Now, if you quickly want to see how we made this, what did you do now?
I just added some more of the bean mixture as well as our cheese, so we're just going to put it in the oven, get it nice and golden brown, and our dish is ready to eat.
Okay, as simple as that. Okay, let's quickly show you how we made this.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA, made with love by Clover.
Made with love by Clover.
Para pa 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 para. SMS Clover para. SMS Clover to 33728. And as simple as that, you can put that into the oven, please. Do me. While you do that, the presentation beautiful. Have a couple of slices of lime. If somebody would like to just maybe squeeze it over their guacamole and salsa combination, which I'm about to actually do right now. Got a taste because Dumi did promise me that after this, you'll never ever want to go back.
You will never. I
You know when it's so good? You're waiting for your name to be called. So
Say
good.
something.
That's so good. Try this out at home.
Delicious.
While you finish that mouthful, let's bring you an earful of something truly remarkable from Switzerland all the way to Mzansi. We're about to introduce you to a truly unique sound from some gentlemen who might be a little bit tired, having jetted halfway across the world, but they are here to perform for you this morning. Cosmic Percussion Ensemble are about to perform Calienta. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Cosmic Percussion Ensemble form part of the percussion threads from Zurich to Mzansi. You can catch them tomorrow at Youngblood Africa at 8 o'clock. Tickets costing just 100 Rand. We'll have all of their performance dates on our social media platforms. Go and support something truly remarkable.
With your support, we are now able to donate 20,000 pairs of Smart Step school shoes to children in need. Celebrate goodness when you buy a Crush. Dial the number on the pack for a chance to win your share of cash prizes and school fees. Crush, share the goodness.
Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso as we delve into a little bit of tech news this morning. Of course, we've had a fantastic show. We've been being treated to percussion on an entirely different level. Absolutely mind-blowing stuff. And a little bit later in the show, I see Eitan Stern has just stepped in. We're going to be talking about the coronavirus.
Yes.
And he was saying that at least once a day, one of his clients contacts him. So you want to stick around for that. But we're going to delve into a little bit of tech news at the moment. And of course, it was inevitable that coronavirus, the ordeal, would have an impact on the tech industry, and with some of the biggest tech events of the year being postponed or cancelled outright already. And that's including the Game Developers Conference and Google's I/O conference. It's having a huge financial impact. We know it's hitting the oil markets as well in a very big way. So the world's biggest exhibition company, Informa, who are responsible for organising many of these events that have been shut down, have now reported that they have had to reschedule 45 large events and 70 smaller events. Now just imagine the knock-on effect, the speakers that have been booked, every element of the logistics involved in an event, and now you've got to push it out. So
and also financially, I'm sure it's...
Well, this is the thing. Everything has a massive financial implication. So they've also had to completely cancel 13 events this year just to write them off. The total monetary value of all of these events is, get this, 8.3 billion rand.
What?
Wow, and that's just in the event sector. Never mind the knock-on effect of kind of secondary spend for the people who are going to be staying in that area, all those sorts of implications. There's also talk that the Tokyo 2020 Olympics might be postponed as well, and that's very strong kind of indication that that is probably going to happen. So labs around the world are currently doing everything that they can to develop a vaccine for the virus. And one lab in the UK is actually offering people around 90,000 rand to get infected by the coronavirus so that they can test them to try and find the right antibodies. How crazy is that? Would you do it for 90 large?
No.
No? How
I
much?
cannot put my life on the line for 90K.
Million?
A million rands. We can chat. We will talk. Just hit me up.
It ain't no joke, man. El Vivo, the company that runs the lab, is looking for volunteers to willingly be given 2 weaker strains of the virus and then to spend 2 weeks in quarantine while they are closely monitored by medical staff and given various vaccines. Other than that, they will have no direct contact with any people. This is just one of several labs that are working on vaccines at the moment, with some of them planning to start human testing in the next 2 months.
That's massive. So many of these big events being cancelled because of obviously the coronavirus outbreak globally. And I think it's quite serious. Like, this is the extent
But it's,
to which it's
I mean, there's
serious.
so many different permutations. So the travel bans that have been put on, most companies have stopped international travel, and that the implications of fuel in planes that should have been flying, that have been grounded, just every little element of this kind of opens up another Pandora's box. So I think we are quite lucky that we haven't been affected in a huge way here, but it'll be interesting now that Corona has made landfall in South Africa, what that is going to mean. Are we going to start to see a similar sort of approach that we've seen in different African countries, the cancellation of sporting events?
Yes.
Are our footballers going to start doing the elbow bump at the beginning of a match? It's going to be interesting to see, but you can let us know. Continue to let us know. We've been focusing on personal hygiene as one way that you can stem the spread of any harmful germ or virus. You can let us know what you are doing in your own home to ramp up personal hygiene.
Oh, interesting stuff indeed over there. From the world of technology to the world of the law, it's time for our weekly legal segment we call So Now What? And of course, we are addressing the issue at hand, which is, of course, the spread of the coronavirus all around the world. And we want to know what your legal rights and recourses are when it comes to that. Our friend in all things law, Eitan Stern from Legalese, joins us to answer that very question. Yeah, you never thought that Corona had a legal side to it? Well, it does. Good to have you, sir.
Good to be here. I wish we were talking about something a little more pleasant.
Right.
But I suppose it's important. We've got to talk about it.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago, actually, we were speaking about it, and it hasn't hit South Africa yet.
Yeah.
Last week, obviously, the first confirmed case in Hilton, KZN.
Yeah.
What is the legal rights with regards to the government? So should this outbreak spread like wildfire, is there a government-level disaster management protocol that will have to take place should this spread?
100%. So, look, so I think Corona is important to talk about, but I also think it's important not to panic too much. So everything we do in talking about this, and certainly in this conversation, should be based around, you know, giving facts and not blowing things out of proportion. So we've got to measure ourselves. So the government at all times has a risk protocol. There's the Risk Management Act, and it's the government's duty to have a procedure to put into place if there's any sort of an emergency or a pandemic or disaster. And that can be disease, it can be local, it can be national, it could be people getting hurt. And the government has to have procedures to put into play. The government says that they have been planning the procedures for what happens if there's a widespread pandemic. And so if that does happen, they'll let us know what they're going to be doing to curtail the virus. But it is up to them to have a procedure in place, and they say they are doing it. So we'll wait and see, but the hope is that the pandemic doesn't spread too far.
Yeah, and to their credit, we have been receiving regular updates
for sure
from the Minister of Health. So let's talk about the employer-employee relationship. And if you now, for instance, might know of a confirmed case in your area, in your office, in your place of employment, what obligation does your employer have towards you as an employee?
Okay. So it's a great question, and one that's very relevant for Corona and in all instances. It's an employer's duty to make sure that the workplace is kept safe for employees. So if you've got, you know, any kind of dangers in the workplace, it's an employer's job to make sure that you're working in a safe environment, that you're not going to get hurt. So if someone has Corona, a contagious virus, or any contagious virus in the workplace, it's the employer's duty to try to quarantine that person and to keep the rest of the employees safe.
With regards to parent-child and the schooling the system, though, because as a parent, I'm sure if anyone was confirmed or just had the slight symptoms at a creche, Phoenix creche, should a parent keep their child at home to, like, you know, just keep them away from a child? Or what is that?
Okay, so again, this is a really, really important question, and one which is this balancing between panic and safety. So schools have a duty to keep children safe. It's one of their requirements. If a school knows of someone or suspects someone has a virus in their school, then it's going to be up to that school to make sure that they're quarantined. That being said, a parent does not have a right to just take their child out of school. Parents have to, well, on a long-term basis, it's illegal. Your child has to go to school if they're under 15 years old. They have to be in school. So parents can't just take their kids out of school because they're not safe, don't feel safe. The Department of Education and the schools are monitoring this, and they will let you, if there are dangers, their obligation is to keep children safe, and they'll put a protocol in place of whether they're going to close the school down or not. And in some schools around the world, they have been doing that. In South Africa, they haven't yet, because we only have, I think it's 7 cases now of coronavirus. We're not at panic levels just yet. We hope it doesn't get there, but until then, you know, you have to keep your kids in school.
Maybe
the best thing that, just to add, the best thing that parents can do, this is one that people keep talking about, is teach the kids to wash hands, teach about personal hygiene, but that's really the best thing you can do, that you don't need to start pulling your kids from school just yet.
Interesting you're saying, and we were just speaking about that, like washing the hands and that, but like for the parents though, how would that affect them? Because like you obviously not sending your child to school to keep them in quarantine. Can you then also just stay at home from work? Would that be a...
Okay, so the work thing's interesting. So the answer is, well, no, I guess. You can't just stay home from work because you feel there's something unsafe. That being said, we are to some extent in unprecedented times, and there's, you know, this is not the, I mean, hopefully it's not the new normal, but this is not a normal situation. So everyone's kind of figuring out what to do, and a lot of companies, specifically tech companies around the world, are trying to encourage people to work from home and use the resources like video chat in order to run the businesses, and it works quite well. But that's going to be up to your employer to decide how they want to manage their company, up until the point that there is some sort of a risk in the workplace, in which case the employer has to notify the disaster risk management, and it's going to have to keep people in the workplace safe.
All right. Well, we're going to continue this conversation with Eitan Stone very shortly. And, of course, as you can see on your screens as well, the National Institute of Communicable Diseases hotline, 0800 029 999, a number to keep on hand if you're looking to find out more information.
Now, as you know, Samsung are just doing the most with the mega release of the Galaxy S20 series, and they are spreading the love with like a wildfire at the moment, exclusively for our Expresso viewers. They said this: you can go buy yourself the Galaxy S20, anything from the range, post a photo on the Expresso Facebook page or Twitter page, and you might just win a state-of-the-art Samsung 65-inch QLED TV worth a cool 45,000 rand.
That's big.
It's massive. It's literally a big TV, and it's big news.
Now, we are so thrilled to see just how many people have gone out and purchased the Galaxy S20, and here are some of the new proud owners. Okay, this one, proud new parents, exactly. Here is Muhammad with his Galaxy S20. He upgraded from his Note 8 and couldn't be more thrilled. Look at that. Looking all excited, Muhammad, in the office or at home.
Then Veronica Archery sent us this awesome picture of her daughter, and she says, I upgraded my daughter to the new S20. Lucky girl. We both cannot stop playing with all the new features. We also keep receiving the most hilarious entries as well.
And here's one from Darren. He says, damn, it's so light. Lol, we cannot deal. Love it, Darren.
I don't know if that qualifies you to win the TV, bro. I'm so sorry, man.
Nice try, though.
Don't be like Jared. Go and actually get yourself a Galaxy S20. Put yourself in the running to win that super sexy, super slick Samsung 65 inches big, man. QLED is amazing. Quantum LED TV worth 45,000. And remember, you enter by posting a photo with you and the phone on our Expresso Facebook or Twitter page with the hashtag Galaxy S20. Remember that all T's and C's apply and can be found on expressoshow.com. And it's got to be your phone, because we're going to ask for a till slip or something that proves that you bought the phone. They'll be borrowing your mate's phone and taking your photo. But that competition ends this Thursday. That's the 12th. So really, get on it. Don't miss out. Tomorrow.
Jeez.
Join the Spec Boom Challenge on Expresso Thursday, the 12th of March, and discover the pot-sized South African super tree drawing more harmful carbon dioxide from the atmosphere than any other plant in nature.
Be a part of the challenge sweeping the nation, combating climate change one spec boom at a time. Learn to plant them, cook with them, and about their health benefits.
Only on Expresso Thursday, March the 12th on SABC3. The planet is yours.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show on this Wednesday morning. Eitan Stern still joining us right now for So What Now, our weekly legal segment where we discuss the more unconventional side of the law. And how much more of an unconventional time is it right now where coronavirus is making world news and, of course, its effects on multiple industries. But what about you personally? How does it touch on your life? And we were talking about it right now during the ad break about the fact that you were supposed to be traveling to Switzerland next week.
Yes.
And you've had to cancel that. You were going to go to a conference.
Yes. So in Europe, they're cancelling. Lots of events are being cancelled. So the event I was supposed to be going to was cancelled, which leaves me with a plane ticket, which I can't use.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
So what then happens in a situation like that? Companies like airlines, hotels, things like that. Are you as an individual then allowed to claim your money back from them legally to say, well, this is something that I didn't have any control over and I've had to cancel, and because I'm not going anymore, I'm not just going to be visiting all willy-nilly because there's no more conference. Give me back my money.
So it's a great question, and one which has a conventional and an unconventional answer. In normal circumstances, if you cancel something in South Africa, you've got the Consumer Protection Act to protect you. So you've got a cancellation procedure. You've given 7 days to cancel and then another 30 days to cancel. So there's procedures to go into play. That's the one thing to do, is check the Consumer Protection Act if you've booked into a hotel or booked a flight. The other thing is you've got to check the terms and conditions of that particular airline or that hotel. So hotels will have cancellation policies. The non-conventional part of the answer is we are in kind of an unprecedented situation. So that the hotels and airlines are deciding on what to do in this. So in my example, I booked with Emirates. Emirates have removed the cancellation fee, or the change fee if you want to change your ticket. They normally charge you a fee to change. They said, listen, we understand people are going to be changing, so they've taken that away. Airbnb is another example. They've sent out an email to say that you can now, if 10 hosts or visitors are allowed to cancel bookings without any penalties. So the companies that are in the tourism or travel industry are now coming to the party and deciding what to do in this kind of an unprecedented situation. So the answer is check the Consumer Protection Act, check the terms, and communicate with whoever it is that you've booked with.
Yeah. Let's take it back to the employee now.
Sure.
For instance, if I feel like I'm getting sick, do I self-quarantine myself for 2 weeks? I obviously have to report it to my employer.
Sorry, I can't come into work for 2 weeks.
You're giving me the shivers.
Would this then account as sick leave, annual leave? How would this...
Okay, so again, a great question, and to some extent, kind of unprecedented. So if we think about it, the Basic Conditions of Employment Act has a sick leave procedure, and you get a certain amount of sick leave in every cycle to take. The question, so if you are sick, you can take the sick leave. If you are very sick, there's other procedures which come into play about whether you are able to continue at your job and whether you are not. The question you're asking, though, is what happens if you think you're sick and you have to take off leave because you might have this virus, because there's a 2-week incubation period for this virus. The answer is you need to communicate with your employer. It should be in the employer's best interest to make a plan with you, because the employer needs to keep the rest of the staff safe and not ill. So what the hope would be that the employer makes a procedure for you to be able to work from home. If they don't, then I guess in theory you could take your leave in order to, if the employer disagrees with you and doesn't want you to quarantine yourself, then you could take your leave in order to quarantine yourself, and to some extent you might be able to take unpaid leave. But the real hope is that your employer needs to fulfill their duty of keeping the office safe. And if you are able to work and can quarantine yourself, then the employer should come to the party. But it's a difficult situation, and one without a lot of precedent. And the real hope is that people don't panic without reason to panic, so we're not put into these kind of extreme situations.
Yeah, and of course, when you think about it, an outbreak of this nature can cause mass hysteria. It can cause a lot of difficulty within the community. And in fact, it was reported that a man at Tygerberg Hospital said that he had the virus just so that he could skip the queue.
Yeah.
A very, very serious thing to say, and that could start, like I said, mass hysteria and panic and can get people hurt.
Yes.
So what could happen if you are found to be misreporting or misrepresenting the fact that you maybe have the coronavirus, or that someone else might have it?
Yeah. Okay, so great question, and really important, and really plays into this fear-mongering thing that we're talking about. Fear-mongering and causing panic does cause damage. And if you are causing damage to someone else or an institution because of something which isn't true or intentionally, then yes, you can be liable for it. You could be liable for a criminal conviction if there was a crime that's being committed. And if you cause some damage to someone's business or property because of it, you could be liable for a civil claim. So it is really, really important to not cry wolf, to not mess around with this thing, to not incite panic and intentionally try harm other people or their businesses. Everyone's got to keep cool, and everyone's got to just be a good civil citizen around this and not cause panic. And if you do, you really could have damages or a criminal claim against you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Some great insights there from Eitan Stone. Thank you very much.
Only a pleasure.
Much appreciated. We hope that that also was enlightening to you. Do share your thoughts with us on social media. Of course, every hashtag Expresso show. And one more time, a very important number for you to keep on hand. Perhaps you might want to save it as one of your quick access numbers. The National Institute of Communicable Diseases hotline, 0800 029 999.
As we delve into our national news one last time, let's start with a story that has evolved over the last week. Load shedding moved to stage 4 yesterday afternoon. That was after the Coburg Unit 1 tripped, Eskom announced. An Eskom spokesperson said the unit was disconnected from the grid due to a fault on the turbine side. He said that there was no safety risk whatsoever related to the fault. Teams are investigating the root causes of that fault, and an update will be provided as soon as the information becomes available. He reiterated that load shedding can change at short notice for better or for worse. Then the Gauteng High Court in Pretoria yesterday set aside Public Protector Busisiwe Mkhwebani's report into President Cyril Ramaphosa, which found that he deliberately misled Parliament about a donation to his ANC presidential campaign. The court described Mkhwebani's findings as against the president as irrational, reckless and informed by misdirected conflation and confusion. It found she displayed, and we quote, a complete lack of basic knowledge of the law and its application. Mkhwebane was ordered to pay Ramaphosa's costs on a punitive scale. Then turning to the international front, Rwandan authorities have installed hand-washing facilities at a bus station in the capital, Kigali, as a precaution against coronavirus. Frequent hand-washing is one of the key steps recommended by the World Health Organization. Rwanda has not confirmed any cases of the virus so far. Meanwhile, authorities in Kigali have banned concerts and public gatherings as a precaution, a move that has sparked some criticism online. Then Chinese President Xi Jinping yesterday visited Wuhan for the first time since the coronavirus outbreak began, in an apparent sign that he is attempting to claim victory over the disease now that the country has turned a corner with it. His visit to Wuhan, where the coronavirus first broke out, came as the country now records fewer and fewer cases each day. Yesterday, China recorded only 19 new cases. He also visited Wuhan's Hushenshan Hospital, which city authorities panicked in late January to accommodate coronavirus patients, and they did so in a matter of mere days. And now, some heartwarming news of rhino orphan Khaleesi and his special boot. In December of last year, the Rhino Orphanage received a 5-month-old rhino orphan from a private game reserve, which presumably had been attacked by hyena and had one of his rear feet gnawed off. The team immediately started treating his wounds and named him Khaleesi after Springbok rugby captain Sia, because he was such a brave little fellow. He was fitted with a special boot to help heal that foot. Now, 3 months later, he's doing extremely well, and it's become the orphanage's class clown, often finding himself in trouble. The orphanage says it now needs to start weaning him off human contact, but baby steps at a time, as baby rhinos do stress very easily. So in good time, Khaleesi will move on and again spend time with his own kind. Now, taking a quick glimpse into the world of entertainment. We can always rely on the social media app TikTok to introduce us to the latest viral challenges and trends. And now we're being treated to the Flip the Switch challenge, which sees 2 participants in the video getting created by switching positions, clothes and even species with each other. More on that a little later in our full entertainment report, so stay tuned. Right now, though, let's wrap up those sporting headlines. Let's kick it off with football. Premier Soccer League action continued last night with Bidvest Wits registering a 1-0 win over Black Leopards at the Bidvest Stadium. Terence Zukomanja, he broke the deadlock at the half-an-hour mark to secure the win for the home side. In last night's results, Wits, they remain in 6th place in the standings. Black Leopards still rooted to the bottom of the table on 16th. There'll be one PSL fixture this evening as Stellenbosch FC host reigning champs Mamelodi Sundowns. That's at 7:30 at the Athlone Stadium. Staying with football, it was fresh disappointment for Jose Mourinho's Tottenham Hotspur as they crashed out of the UEFA Champions League last night. Spurs were thrashed 3-0 by RB Leipzig at the Red Bull Arena in Germany. Leipzig, along with Italian club Atalanta, have now qualified for the competition quarterfinals. Atalanta beating Valencia 4-3 in a thriller. There'll be 2 Champions League fixtures to look out for tonight. Liverpool host Atletico Madrid in a massive fixture at Anfield. And another big one, Paris Saint-Germain, they take on Borussia Dortmund. And that match will also kick off at 10 p.m. tonight. Now, finally, onto rugby. The Six Nations fixture between France and Ireland that was postponed from the 14th of February will now be played at the end of October this year. France's team manager announced this yesterday. The match was initially postponed in Paris due to concerns over the coronavirus outbreak. The fixture between Wales and Scotland will, however, still be played this coming weekend. Then in the Women's Six Nations draw, the fixture between Wales and Scotland has also been postponed. That was after a Scottish player tested positive for the coronavirus. That's where we leave our sporting headlines for now. Let's take one last look at the roads.
The time is now 3 minutes past 8. It's time to have the final look at what's happening on the roads. This morning, starting off in Soweto, Gauteng, there has been a fatal car accident on the Golden Highway before Fan Valley. The entire road is obstructed. Please avoid the area and use an alternative route this morning. And down to the Western Cape, Milnerton on the N7 southbound, there's congestion between Malibongwe Boulevard and Bosman's Dams Road. The average traveling speed is 15 kilometers an hour with delays up to 20 minutes. And lastly, Metro Rail Northern Line. There is an extended travel time of approximately 60 minutes on the Northern Line due to signal power failure at Parow following earlier load shedding. Please be patient this morning. That's your 8 o'clock traffic roundup. Right now it's time for the final look with the weather with Jamie.
Thank you so much, Kutle. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day to all of you that's tuned into your Feel Good Breakfast show. And as always, we've asked you to send in your sunrise pictures. Thank you so much to Nancy Govender for your stunning sunrise picture from Umkomas, as well as Wendy Canterbury for your beautiful sunrise from Muizenberg, as well as one of our regulars, Joan Cameron, for your amazing skyline from Britannia Bay. And then last but definitely not least, Alan Rudnicki for your spectacular grey skyline from Stellenbosch. We love seeing those pictures. So remember, keep them going, keep them flowing. But right now, let's take a last look at the temperatures throughout the country. Starting off in Polokwane, your low is 17, peaking at 30 degrees. High humidity can also be expected for Umbombela today with a range of 20, peaking at 32 degrees. Pretoria, 18, 30. Johannesburg for you, it is 16, peaking at 27 degrees. Now a northwesterly wind of 15 kilometers per hour can be expected for you, Mahikeng, with a low of 19 and a high of 32 degrees. Klerksdorp 16:30, Kimberley 18:29, and then thunderstorms are also expected today for Bloemfontein with a low of 15 and a high of 26 degrees. A couple of showers can be expected for Richards Bay as well with a low of 20 and a maximum of 32 degrees. Heavy rainfall expected for you, Pietermaritzburg, ranging from 18 to 26 degrees. If you find yourself in South Africa's playground today, Durban, it is a low of 22 and a high of 27. And then occasional rain can be expected for you, Mthatha, with a low of 16 and a high of 24. East London, 19 to 23. Thunderstorms are also expected for Craddock today with a low of 16 and a high of 27. High humidity expected for PE Port Elizabeth, ranging from 18 to 23. George, 17, 22. And the coolest start to the morning can be found in Sutherland with a low of 13 and a high of 25. The mother city, Cape Town, coming through with a low of 16 and a high of 26. Worcester 16:27, Springbok 10:26, and the highest temperature in the country can be found in Uppington with a low of 19, peaking at 34. Whatever the weather, wherever you find yourself, make sure it's a feel-good kind of day. But right now, let's say one more look for a happy birthday to all our loyal viewers.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
I was waiting for you to yodel.
No,
Yodel
I should have gone in on the
you had a
yodel,
golden
man.
opportunity.
You
missed it, man.
Missed it. All right, but it is time for us to wish you a happy birthday. But first, not before we mention a little fun fact, because today is none other than Handré Pollard's birthday, our World Cup winning fly half.
Yeah, one of our favourites, man. He's only 25. He's still got so many good rugby years ahead of him. Obviously, we were a little bit heartbroken that he moved across to Montpellier, but it got paid like tens of millions to do it, so we can't begrudge the young man the opportunity to secure the bag. But he, obviously being a World Cup winner, is one of the hottest exports. I don't know what he was doing there. He also did backflips. But he is, and I actually met him on a schoolboy rugby field after the Wynberg Paul were playing, were playing Wynberg, and he He won the game in the last few minutes of the game by scoring a try and kicking the points, and came to me and he took the microphone out of my hand and he said, "Come, don't play for a draw, they only play for a win," and gave me the mic. And I'm like, boom, this kid's going to go places. Look where he is. But he's 25. His gorgeous wife, Marisa Pollard, I'm sure is celebrating on his behalf. So he's sending both lots of love.
Yeah,
Love
check
you.
this out. He's ranked the third on the list of all-time point scorers in South Africa.
And he's only 25.
What a stat.
Yeah.
What a stat. Happy birthday to you, Andre Pollard. Many, many more years of great rugby from you. All right, let's continue with our birthday wishes. Coming in hot right now to Mlungisi, who's celebrating first birthday. Take a look at this video.
Hey Lulu, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Lungisi. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip, hooray! Hip hip.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Wow. Thank goodness they had the cover on the cake, because that cake was going to go. It was like, oh, so sweet.
Thank you so much for sharing that birthday message with us. This is Mlungisi. Happy first birthday.
Then let's shift gears now and get into a long list of birthdays. Happy 8th birthday to my little man, our main guy, CJ. You are my sunshine. You make me happy when skies are grey. From your mommy, Crystal, daddy, Denzel, and from Chloe. Happy birthday, CJ. Then a happy 4th birthday to our beautiful daughter, Aditaboho Kile. I love you so much. That's coming to you from your mommy.
Lovely stuff. Happy 17th birthday to
chocolate all over
to Caitlin de Villiers, who's turning 17 today. The message reads, "May God spare you many more, and may His protective hand over you from all evil. We love you with all our heart." This is from your dad, Tamika, from Dylan, Devlin, and Kiera as well. And then another 17th birthday for Ethan Jonas. We're very proud of you, and we love you very much. May God continue to bless you always, from your mom, dad, Taylor, and Matthew.
And then we had quads earlier, just twins this time. Happy 3rd birthday to my beautiful twins, Zoe and Chloe. Boing, boing. Very cute. Boink, boink. Mummy loves you so much, my babies. So happy birthday, Zoe and Chloe. I hope you're watching right now. Then I'd like to wish Hakima Jacobs a happy birthday, or Jacobs a happy birthday. May you enjoy your day, girl. Love from your mom, your dad, your hubby, and the kids. Happy birthday.
And last but certainly not least, happy 33rd birthday to Meryl Skoltz. May God bless you today and always. Have a lovely day, Meryl. Thank you very much for those beautiful birthday wishes. And if you'd like to wish your loved ones a happy birthday, send us that 15-second video to 071-640-6551, or those images and birthday messages you can send to birthdays@cardova.tv. And if today is your special day, happy birthday.
Okay, sweetie, time to blow out your candles.
Don't ruin the moment. Prevent allergies or cold and flu with fast-acting powder nasal spray from the Nexa range. Nexa. Brought to you by Pharma Dynamics.
Who says second-hand is second best? At Cash Converters, you can buy top brands at bargain prices and sell your goods for instant cash.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, all you beautiful people, right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, only on SABC3. We've had a jam-packed morning from meeting Afternoon Express to me, good music, but now it's time to delve into those movie trailers with our movie guru, JP Sebastian. Here he is with Connected, the first one. Can I first ask before we go through this,
yes.
Are there any rom-coms?
I'm afraid not, no.
Okay, but it's fine. What do you have for
Why
us?
is there so much pressure for romance
As always,
from you?
because last week you gave us like a taste and me and Kuthra was like, yes, coming through
Like-
with the rom-coms, and then you just like went back to horror,
I feel like
sure.
we're shooting the messenger here. Like, I have no say in which movies get put out. But these are just some of the larger trailers that titillated me, or some of them actually excited me in the past week. Connected is one
the
that...
dogs are also here, like just watching.
Yeah, you just mentioned jam-packed, and I suppose this trailer includes a little doggy of its own, which I'm sure is going to sell in all sorts of plush dolls and all that kind of stuff. Connected is by the same people who produced and created Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which should immediately make people's ears prick up, because make your spider senses tingle, because Into the Spider-Verse was one of the greatest animations of all time, and such a seriously good movie. The names behind it, of course, and the year as well, are Christopher Lord, Phil Lord and Christopher Miller from the Lego movie, and well, they were supposed to do a Star Wars movie at some point, but anyway, they moved on to this, which is fortunate, because it looks really sweet and really pretty. It's starting off with Dad, and he's watching old videos of him and his daughter, and how they used to be so connected in the past, but now this is all on the cusp of her about to make a leap into college, and to part ways with her dad, albeit on good terms. He's a bit too worried about what comes in the way of their connections, like computer screens and cell phone screens and TV screens and stuff like that. So he's one of these old school dads. I don't know if your dad's like that. Like, I know my parents are like, too many kids in front of the cell phones these days type thing. But I suppose the way the character insists, that's just her way of socializing. So he tries to force all of them to, like, can we have just 10 seconds of family time with no screens? And that's all of them, like, dying to look at their phones at that point. He then gets into a tussle with her to swear he wants to look at the movie she made, and then obviously smashes the laptop by mistake, and decides, you know what, he's going to make amends by forcing them all into the same car, into a road trip, rather than shoving her on a jet plane off to college, and obviously calamity ensues. So it's a silly, like, clumsy dad who's trying his best.
Fun.
Yeah, it looks really light, which is quite a change, I suppose, from a lot of animations where it feels like it's got to do a lot of hard work, or to tell a story about the end of the world or some nonsense like that, but he's just got to deal with a pug licking his face constantly, apparently. So I suppose if you like modern family-type sitcoms, but it does have its fair share of action, and there's the guy who has been voiced by Eric Andre. Other voices include, by the way, the dad is Danny McBride, who's one of the funniest people we know. Eastbound and Down is one of the funniest shows ever made. It's got Maya Rudolph, who is the mom, who is an SNL goddess, and aside from Eric Andre, you've got Olivia Colman as well, who plays the CEO of this evil corporation who sends these robots out into the world, and for some reason this family vacation turns into them trying to save the world from a robot apocalypse. So aside from just trying to get cell phones out of the family, he's trying to now get robots out of the world.
It started off so light, and I was like,
normal.
yes, and then I was like, okay, the robot, okay.
In a way, I'm totally like refreshed if an animation can just remember that part of its job is to be crazy. Part of its job is just to be strictly like silly entertainment for kids, and not, necessarily getting super sentimental and touchy-feely at all times. So I look forward to this one. This is September 18th in South Africa. Yeah, really should be good.
Looks really good. I'm actually very excited to
Interesting, like mixed media again. Like
Except the robots, though, that's a bit like, but anyway, it's fun. We'll do with it.
It's strange doing something that obtuse, but maybe it works. We'll see.
Maybe your next movie will get me more excited to go to the screen. It's called Black Widow. Take us through
again,
it.
you look like disappointed in me.
I don't.
Make Connected.
I don't
but if you want me to take credit for a Marvel movie, I'll happily do that.
I don't, but I just feel like sometimes, just like put one there. Like last week you did that, but okay,
I'm sure April will get better. But,
yeah, but
Black Widow is obviously a strange follow-up after we just had Avengers. I've forgotten the name. Which one was it? We had Infinity War, and then the other one. Endgame. That's
Endgame,
right.
yeah.
And obviously in Endgame, some stuff goes down that makes this movie quite interesting to have to see Scarlett Johansson. An interesting Avenger because obviously she doesn't have any sort of superpowers of her own. She's just like a groomed super spy type thing. And yes, there's Florence Pugh. So happy to see that woman. She's one of the best actresses we have at the moment. On screen.
Can we just take a moment? Scarlett is doing the thing. Scarlett Charlotte literally just came from Oscar season, finishing it and now going into this. Okay,
yeah, from Marriage Story, Florence Pugh was also at the Oscars, of course, for Little Women, which is on screen at the moment. She should have been there for Midsommar, but let's talk about Black Widow. So Scarlett Johansson, it's revealed a lot more in this final trailer before the movie is released on May the 1st in South Africa, May Day, comrades, that she is returning to Russia, where she wants to put an end to, I think there's this program called the Red Room, where other women like herself are trained to be super assassins, and it's been taken over by a character called Taskmaster, who's the dude in the interesting helmet. Aside from all of that, what's great about the fact that, for me, she is sort of like not super powered. She doesn't have, you know, cosmic laser beams flying out of every sort of orifice she holds, but the fact that she's fallible, the fact that she is just a spy, means that you get really interesting action sequences like this. The choreography looks fluid, the martial arts and the fighting looks really, really interesting and inventive. It's not just, you know, punch, punch, kick, throw a shield type thing. So they really obviously had to put their actors to work, because it can't all just be explosions, but obviously there's the requisite amount of VFX. Yes, action-packed. That's May the 1st in South Africa. Black Widow does look like an interesting... Yes, Florence Pugh. Giving it to them. Super excited about this.
Okay, 2 women in power. We love it. We're here for it.
Along with Rachel Weisz, who I love dearly, who you're looking at there, who is sort of the mother figure in this movie, but they're all super killer spies. And dude from Stranger Things. Who's
I just saw that now. I was like, yay!
David Harbour, who fortunately is recovering from Hellraiser. I mean, not Hellraiser, Hellboy at the moment, which was horrible. But fortunately, this looks like a much better fit for him, even if he's looking a bit Thor in the front of the costume there. Black Widow, May the 1st.
Okay, so cool. We got an animation, we got another action. Hopefully when you come back a little bit later, you will be giving us maybe a rom-com, maybe not. We'll see. JP Sebastian is still here with more movie trailers
with Hollywood
in a little while.
All right, time for some beautiful music on this Wednesday morning. Of course, provided to us by 3 beautiful ladies, super talented. Their names, Sarah Evans, who's a renowned viola player and teacher, Nomapostile Nyiki, who's a singer and a dancer, as well as Lungiso Blankis, a SAMA-nominated singer and musician. And before we get to hear the music, I wanted Sis Nomapostile to tell us about the instrument that she, alongside Lungiso, is playing. And it's called Uhadi, ne?
Yes.
Tell us a bit about this instrument.
Okay, this instrument is Uhadi. This instrument, it used to be played by the old women in the long time, like in the olden days. But now, nowadays, it can be played by anyone else, by men also. And then when they play it, they used to sit around the fire telling stories to their grandchildren. So this is a calabash. So a calabash, what it does, it produces the overtones so that it makes the songs to sound beautifully. And then there's a peg. And this peg, it helps it to tune it so that we can be able to play this instrument, amazing instrument, with the classical instrument. So this instrument, it can be used and collaborate with any kind of style of instrument, any kind of style of music. So
that's exactly what we'll be hearing on Thursday when you are with Guerrilla Classics, playing the collaboration between classical music with the instruments they provide, and of course your wonderful trio as well. So now the song that you're about to perform is called Ngo Ngo Ngo. What is that song about?
Okay, the song is called Ngo Ngo Ngo.
Get it right, Kat.
It's Ngo Ngo Ngo. This song, it means knock, knock, knock. Stop crying for something that doesn't belong to you. Yeah, that's what.
The stage is yours. Take it away.
siyo yakho woyene nowena wonkonko waze wayelele ndaba engasiyo yakho waze wakhalele ndaba wontoni uyenzayo ma wakhalele ndaba waze wakhalele ndaba waze wakhalele ndaba waze wakhalele ndaba waze wakhalele ndaba
Brava, beautiful ladies. Thank you so much. And of course, you can catch these ladies, the ancient voices, as they go by name in collaboration with Gorilla Classics this coming Thursday, the 12th of March at Young Blood. The show starts at 8 p.m. And then they also have various other shows, which include the Root Spring and Musenberg for the percussion threads from Zurich to Mzansi. That show on the 13th of March starts at 7 p.m. And then, of course, at the Zeitz here in Cape Town on the 14th of March, 11 a.m. And you can check out details online. Thank you very much once again, ladies. In the meantime, do link up with us on our social media platforms. Let us know what you thought of that beautiful performance of Ngo Ngo Ngo.
Find your smooth fortune with Tropica. Buy a Tropica, follow the entry details on the pack, and stand a chance to win your share of 1 million rand in prizes, such as a trip for two with KLM to Amsterdam, LG G8 phones, TVs, and dishwashers, guest vouchers, watches, and accessories, plus the smooth grand prize of a Suzuki Ignis. The more Tropica you buy, the more chances you have to win. Tropica, nothing smoother.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's a Wednesday morning. We're live, large, and in charge, and it's so cool.
So good
to be in your company. Thanks for joining us, guys. Time right now for us to quickly reflect on some of the news that's been making headlines in the world of entertainment. One of those stories involving one of our extended family, if you will.
Yeah, very much so. It's baby season. The babies are coming thick and fast, and we love it. We love celebrating with our friends especially, and she certainly fits into that category. We know Jade, obviously, as a presenter, Jade Daniel on Top Billing, and she's had an incredible rise to fame. There's that gorgeous girl. And the big news is that her and hubby Matthew have now welcomed a beautiful, gorgeous baby girl into the world. Please put your hands together for Mila Elizabeth Daniel.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
A gorgeous baby girl. And only Jade could look gorgeous in a hospital bed. Still,
look at that.
Just
First
take
contact.
a
Oh, my word.
Oh, that is
already self-soothing.
Oh, it's a new pool.
That is incredible.
Look at it, man.
I'm getting teary-eyed. That's just very
it's amazing,
wow to see that.
The most amazing mother. She is a wonderful human being, and in fact, she is on the line right now. Good morning, Jade.
Good morning, everyone.
Hey!
I can't believe you're on the line right now.
I know. Congratulations. You got Kat and Kutla and obviously me, Graham, here on the other end of the line. How are you feeling, first of all?
I'm feeling fantastic. We're all healthy and well. I'm still processing it all. I'm still in the hospital, actually. So it's just been surreal.
Oh, man, we are looking at pictures right now and taking after her mom. She is like the most photogenic little thing already. She is so cute and so small and so gorgeous, but you had to wait for her. Like a true celeb, she came fashionably late, 41 weeks. What was that last little phase of waiting like?
Oh, my word. I was ready, like completely ready in every way, 37 weeks. And then you just have to wait. And that last month feels like an entire year. And then 40 weeks came and she wasn't here. And then 41 and a half weeks came. And the last 2 days I was just getting frustrated and I was getting angry and I was like, come on now.
Take this baby out.
Frustrated.
She looks...
But she came out in just over 2 hours.
Wow. Oh, wow.
In 2 hours she came out, so it was all worth it because she came out so healthy and strong, having had that extra time, and that's what makes it worth it, a healthy and strong baby.
Absolutely, that's what we all pray for as parents. Everyone always wants to know, Jade, the inspiration behind a name, Mila Elizabeth. Tell us about that.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so Mila was the first name that my husband and I both agreed on and absolutely loved. It means gracious, and I'm always grateful, and I've loved it for a very long time. And then Elizabeth is after my grandmother, my Oma, who passed away from cancer. She was an angel on this earth and a huge part in my life, looking after me every single day. And it was my husband's idea to honor her, knowing how much I love her.
Oh,
so, I was really special. And it means that devoted to God. And then his surname, Daniel, means God is my judge. So meaning was very important to us.
Ooh, wow.
I love that. You know, speaking of Papa Bear, how's he taken to his little bundle?
He was so sweet. He was just melted. He was very tearful. I thought I was going to be the one crying. Turns out it was the other way around. And he's just so in love, and it's something so beautiful to see. It really is.
Wow, this is really, really special, Jade. And
it's getting a little emotional in studio.
Yeah, and you know what? Thank you for sharing this with us, because this is a very special time for a family. So to be willing and able to open up this door to us and thus the rest of the country and share this moment in your lives with us is a privilege. So thank you, and we wish you and your young family all the best.
It felt so right, because everyone's been so supportive, and I can't thank everyone enough who know me and who don't know me on social media, sending me love, tears, messages. I'm so grateful for all the support. It really has meant the world to us. So thank you to everyone.
Congratulations to you and Matt again, and just savor every second of this time especially. And we wish you nothing but love and, of course, health and joy to the whole family. But go and enjoy being back in that baby bubble.
Thank you so much. Have a fantastic day, everyone.
Thank you.
Sam. I'm ready to have a daughter now. That is so sweet, man. Congratulations, Jade.
I hope that made you smile.
Oh, I definitely hit all the feels. Jade, did you have any kids?
No, I don't.
No, you don't.
But what's really, really beautiful is...
that you know of, Kat says.
Keep allowing that reputation to persist. I'm a very lonely, sad man. No, but what's really, really sweet is, like, everyone on set is just enthralled. Whether the person is celebrity, whether the person is someone you know, whether the person's a complete stranger, there's something so beautiful and primordial about humans that we just root for each other like that.
See, I feel like you connect with rom-coms. That's why I feel like you need to bring more rom-coms into your trailers. But, of course, you do not do that.
You and my mom have like an agreement where you're setting me up?
We know WhatsApp group, me and your mom. But it's okay. Listen, the other lamb, let's get on to it. The other lamb is what you have for us today. Take us through it.
Yeah, the other lamb is probably a situation.
You are the other lamb.
I will most likely, the other black sheep, find myself in, hopefully not. Cults. Why are cults becoming popular again? Yes, horror movies. You love them so much. Don't you want to see a horror rom-com one day? No? Okay.
No, rom-com.
Please, no one.
Is that a new... It's a rom-com.
We're all very, very special here. I think the baby just, like, infantilized our brains. So, horrors. For some reason, cults are coming back. Wild Wild Country, people went wild about. Bikram was really, really good as well. Obviously, those were documentaries, but Midsommar last year and now this one as well. This is interesting because it's a cult story told from within. So not, someone's finding their way in, a journalist wants to know what they're about, but you start with a young lady who was born into this cult, where a character played by Michiel Huisman, I think most people would know him as Michael Huisman from Game of Thrones for most people. That's the leading man, who they just refer to as Shepherd. Dario Naharis. I don't know these characters at all. Kat said yes, so Sure, that sounded right to him, so that's good by me. The other lamb then is interesting because it starts from being within and feeling like everything is hunky-dory and everything should be okay. However, as this young lady starts to hit puberty, she gets visions that something is a bit off and something is wrong. This is all set in modern day, by the way, but these people cloister themselves into a forest where this man clearly is some sort of sleazebag who has kept all of these women who in their earlier lives were victimized, who were previously victims of abuse. He acted as some sort of savior who's going to take care of all of them. We'll find out more when we get down to it. Our camera person just flinched. I just saw out of the corner of my eye, Prosper Sabab just flinched when one of the characters hit something with a rock. So clearly infectual. Infective. I don't even know the word. Whatever. Infectious.
Hey, it's that.
Corona in my grammar. Clearly, something going wrong.
It's okay. Greyhound. Next movie, Greyhound.
Greyhound is starring Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks.
What kind of movie?
In a war rom-com.
Okay, there we go.
No, not really, no. It's just a war movie. I'm sorry. What is a war rom-com? Please help me.
Yes, going into war and then coming and then finding love. And that's what we live for. But it's fine.
Sure. Okay, so true story about, well, I think based on true circumstances, of course, where in World War II, in the Atlantic crossing between America and Europe, sure, you can call it Titanic if you like, the German U-boats, the Nazi U-boats, sank 3,500 civilian vessels. That's a huge number to wrap your head around. And Tom Hanks plays this captain who has to, again, to use this word after the cult movie, shepherd 37 vessels to safety to Europe, where obviously America is trying to supply resources to the Allies, etc., etc. So people, we all loved him dearly, obviously, in Saving Private Ryan, which is a masterpiece. This, I don't know how this, well, this looks really impressive now that I just look at it the second time, but I don't know how this plays out when you got sort of a group of men huddled on one ship and then like a kilometer away another group of men on another ship, so no sort of human contact. Hopefully you can build enough of the tension with the wolf packs, which is obviously what they refer to the submarines as, crew stirring paranoia just under your surface, just under your feet. There's the sense of something looming like a danger just waiting just over the tide. I hope that it can build up enough tension like that. Otherwise, it's going to be maybe a bit similar to Midway, which is a bit meh. But hey, Tom Hanks usually knows what he's doing with war movies. Clearly, it was produced in the Pacific, producing Band of Brothers, which was amazing as well. And he wrote this one, actually, so...
When is the release date?
You're asking JP a question now. I think that's June 1st in South Africa.
Well, JP, thank you so much for bringing us 4 good movies, movie trailers. Hopefully you'll connect with that. Let us know which movies you are looking forward to see. But right now, we're going to take a quick break. We'll see you on the other side.
Rise and shine. There's no better way to wake up other than with Mackie D's for breakfast. Download the McDonald's app for delicious daily deals and start your day the right way.
Looking for immune support? Remain at your peak all year round with Immuenza.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso as we savour the last few drops of what has been a beautiful Wednesday morning. A few things. Beat dipping a spoon into a delicious creamy tub of yogurt, and the premium range of yogurts from Woolworths is definitely no exception. This yogurt range speaks to true excellence as it is versatile as well. Use it to make delicious breakfast options, sauces, curries, and a whole lot more. Just eat it plain, come on. It really is delicious. So whether you prefer your yogurt plain or fruited, whether you like to keep it simple or prefer to go all out with something really decadent like the delicious strained Ayrshire double cream blueberry yogurt, that is a mouthful, or Ayrshire double cream strawberry yogurt. It's beautiful. You can't go wrong with the creamy treats available in a range of delicious flavors and very useful pack sizes as well. Here to tell us more is Susie O'Regan, Senior Product Developer for Woolworths Dairy. Welcome back, Susie.
Thank you.
I think normally when I chat to you, we're on like a beautiful farm somewhere. Now you've brought the beautiful farm indoors to us. We know that yogurt is special, but doing it and the Ayrshire in particular is very, very special. What are the benefits from eating a yogurt of this quality?
Okay, so Ayrshire really, I think, gives you such an incredible creamy taste, and I think that from our Ayrshire milk, that translates beautifully into the yogurt, where you end up with a creamy taste and a very mild flavour. Not only that, our Ayrshire milk is sourced from approximately 13 farms nationally, which means that we have absolute traceability on the milk, and we also work very closely with our farmers from an animal welfare and farming practice point of view. So we have an incredible relationship with them.
In fact, I've seen that firsthand. A lot of the stories that I've connected with you over has been with the farmers, looking at their business journey, looking at those sustainable business practices. So I've seen that side firsthand. I've also started to understand just how important what you put in and that confidence in the consumer knowing what is going in or what's being taken out. All preservative-free. Why is that so important?
So if I can, just to elaborate on the Ayrshire context and finish on that, you will see on our packaging with Ayrshire, we have an RBST hormone-free logo. So basically, in 2003, we worked with our farmers to remove the administration of RBST, which is a hormone which basically extends the lactation period for a cow. So we believe that isn't good farming practice, and we ask them to stop doing that. So our milk is tested regularly and audited at an independent and international standard. So that in itself, we've taken that out of our product. All of our yogurts are made without preservatives. Again, we'll talk in a minute about the live probiotic cultures, but the preservatives and the cultures basically don't go hand in hand. Preservatives do not promote the growth of probiotics. So we, again, removed preservatives from our yogurt many years ago. And we just believe it was really customer-driven. They would like to see products with clean ingredients and no added nasties, so we don't have any preservatives.
And that's saying a lot, because there's a reason why things like preservatives and hormones and these things are brought in, because it gives you a bigger yield, it makes the process cheaper. So, you know, it really is literally putting your money where your mouth is, excuse the pun. You did mention those live cultures that are so important. I'm going to try to say this, bifidobacterium cultures, is that right? Yeah. Why is this such a good thing? Why is it such a cornerstone of what should be in most of our diets?
Okay, so bifidobacterium is a premium probiotic culture that we put into our yogurts. As you'll see on the label, it says live bifidobacterium cultures. There are millions in there. When eaten with a balanced diet, it will promote good gut health. And as I say, obviously, we don't then want the preservatives in the yogurt because they don't assist with the growth of the bacteria. Yeah.
I'm looking at my favourite. I absolutely love, you don't understand, the lemon curd is just so, so beautiful. But there are a beautiful range of yogurts and ways that you can kind of use them as well. And we're going to get right into that in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with a delicious yogurt frullata recipe made all better thanks to Woolworths Ayrshire yogurt.
All right, listen, we've got some exciting things coming up on our Feel Good Breakfast show. Yannick, of course, you'll remember from seeing him earlier on in the show, is part of a 4-piece ensemble called the Cosmic Percussion Ensemble, all the way from Switzerland. And they're here to collaborate with the lovely ladies of Ancient Voices that you heard earlier on to produce fantastic music come this Thursday and then over the next preceding 2 days after that. Check out the details online. The name of the show is called Threads of...
From Zurich to percussion threads from Zurich to Mzansi.
To Mzansi, exactly. All right, but before we get a performance from you guys as the Cosmic Percussion Ensemble, you're going to teach me some of the things that you guys do. So you've got a couple of chairs here, some drumsticks here.
Exactly, that's all we need. We just need the sticks and some chairs. And now we're going to do some move together.
Okay, cool. So just quickly, just take me through the basics, because we actually haven't done it. He's told me how to do it in theory. And we're going to... So how does it work again?
So we will try a move that we use in our piece after. It's like one on the right, then one on the left. And then we'll play together, okay? 1, 2, 3. Faster. Faster. Yeah, amazing!
Yes! It's amazing! We'll see you after the break. Okay. Yes!
Money, money. Money, money. Money, money.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso, and we're back in the kitchen with Susie, our Woolies dairy expert and lover of yogurt. Just like me, we're going to make her a little on-the-go yogurt drink to say thank you for all of the hard work that her and her team put into what we get to obviously enjoy on the show. And I love being able to really look into the business practices. That for me is what excites me most. And I love the way that you guys look after the cows that create the milk, that create the yogurt. And we can see it literally from farm to table. I've seen all of these before. I have not seen these little guys. What have you... And I'm going to take these home with me. What's going on here?
Okay, so those are strained yogurts. Basically, the fermentation process, which takes about 24 hours, is done in a muslin cloth bag.
Okay.
So all the excess moisture is released, which gives you a much thicker, creamier yogurt and a much higher protein content. Those have got about double the amount of protein as a normal yogurt.
So nice. So a smaller size and it still packs a punch.
Absolutely.
I love that. As someone who's living, very much by a high-protein diet, absolutely love that. So I'm going to make you a little drink on the go here. You're going to help me assemble, use your expert hands. But it really is simple, and we're obviously going to be using and it says thick and creamy for a reason, our double cream plain yogurt, and we're going to jazz it up with some fresh seasonal fruit, and there is some amazing seasonal fruit. I have washed my hands, and we're going to put in some beautiful soft, and I love this, nothing better than a nice ripe mango, because you really get that sweetness. And we're going to put in about a scoopful of our yogurt. And you can there, we are proving just how thick and creamy it is. And this you can do to taste. If you wanted to make it a little runny, you could probably add a little bit of milk as well. And the key word here, if you'd like to create this beautiful frullato yourself, is Woolworths. SMS that to 33728 and we'll send you a link, and then the recipe is yours. Oh, wow. And this is beautiful. It's going to pack a bit more of a punch than just a normal smoothie. So what we've got here is our ice cubes with a different. We've actually frozen some of the flavored yogurt as well, which is beautiful. So I'm going to ask you to pop 2 ice cubes in each little glass, just to keep it fresh and beautiful. And then this is going to be quite a thing. And remember, it is quite thick and creamy. I can smell the mango coming off there. We've used a.
That's tricky.
We're gonna create an Instagram picture for it. There we go. Delicious. And we'll obviously be getting all of the probiotics, the benefits. Great way to start your day. And you can obviously substitute in whatever fruit you desire, but the mango, I think, lends itself so well. There we go.
And then
top it up. We've got some beautiful, again, seasonal, super ripe, super sweet and delicious nectarines that we've chopped up finely. And
we may need a spoon.
I think we are definitely going to need a spoon, and this is, I think, the perfect way to start your day. So, again, the key word is Woolworths to 33728. You SMS that. We'll send you a link. You click on the link and we'll send you the full ingredients list. But cheers. Here's to enjoying beautiful probiotics every morning in a gorgeous, thick and creamy texture. We absolutely love our Woolies yogurt. But before I fill my mouth with it, I'm going to say thank you so much to Susie for taking some time out of her very busy schedule to join us today. If you would like to try your hand at making our delicious yogurt drink, SMS the keyword Woolworths again to 33728. Get the recipe and try it. Maybe you can expand on it yourself. Make sure that you pre-freeze those ice cubes as well. And send us pictures of your beautiful creation. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, wow. Oh, that is good.
Well, a cool and very unique performance coming your way courtesy of the Cosmic Percussion Ensemble, all the way from Switzerland. And they join us ahead of their performance with Ancient Voices in a collaboration between Switzerland and Mzansi. And it's going to be absolutely fantastic. We're about to get a taste tease of what you can expect at that show starting off on the 12th of March. And here you are. The stage is all yours. Take it away. so cool. They're called the Cosmic Percussion Ensemble, all the way from Switzerland, man. That was really cool. Take another bow, gentlemen. Thank you very much for the wonderful entertainment. Ah, man. And they'll be collaborating with Ancient Voices with a great show, Threads of Percussion from Switzerland to Mzansi.
Yeah, I love the history of music laid bare with a performance like this, but it's so contemporary and modern. Just picturing them walking through the airport with their chairs. Come with their musical chair. But absolutely superb. Go and support what sounds like an incredible ensemble.
Yeah.
Just very quickly, one thing we didn't get into our entertainment report earlier. I hear there's a new TikTok challenge out there. Because we've hit 10,000 followers on TikTok.
Thanks to you guys, 10,000 followers on TikTok. Keep the vibe.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What's the vibe with this new challenge?
In 2008, Drake dropped a song non-stop.
Yes.
Yeah, 2018, right? No, 2008.
Yeah.
That's how great that song be. And people have been taking to the song and kind of making up their own challenge where they're in a room, standing alongside somebody. They flip the switch when the song says, "I just flipped a switch," and there's a guy next to the mic who goes, "Flip, flip," and then you flip the switch, and then they change clothes.
Does he do it freaky like that? Flip, flip, flip.
It's pretty. Take a look at this. You'll
show me.
Take on me.
Yeah, it's coming out. I feel like it should have got blank and then we should have all been sitting.
Actually, can we do that? Is that possible?
No,
I just flip the switch and then...
But no, it's got to go off. But then I'm sitting on this side in a blue pencil skirt and Kat's in a floral dress over here. And,
All right, okay, so now let's flip the switch.
Flip it. Switch. Go.
Look, I just flipped the switch. Flip, flip. I don't know nobody else that's doing this.
Oh,
that's cool.
It's cute, but I want one where they are dressed differently and they literally just switch up.
This one. J-Lo killed it.
Okay,
Killed it.
show us, J-Lo, show us.
Look, I just flipped the switch. Flip, flip. I don't know nobody else.
This one is a fun one.
How did he even fit into that dress?
Oh, man. Well,
how did he fit into that?
I wish we had more to show you. In fact, we've got tons more, but I suggest
Do
you
we
go
not have
onto
more?
TikTok and go and have a look.
There's
Okay, one more.
One more.
Please, like the producer man.
Look, I just flipped the switch. Flip, flip. I don't know nobody else.
Hands down the best one. Sorry, J-Lo. Omar killed you, hands down.
With the Zimmer frame. So we are going to be back to have loads more fun tomorrow, and we've joined the craze, another craze, and we hope you guys are going to rise to the challenge as well. It's the speckworm challenge. The little plant that punches way above its weight class. It draws more carbon dioxide from the atmosphere than any other plant, and obviously creates huge amounts of oxygen, and we have it here in abundance, and we want more of it. So we're going to be cooking with it, we're going to be planting it, we're going to be looking after it, we're going to be going through a myriad of different ways that you can celebrate the speckworm. So if you've got any speckworm related questions, we can pose them to our experts.
I have a question.
Yeah. Do you
Can it draw corona out of the air?
That's a very good question.
Very good question.
It'll help you
find out
boost
tomorrow.
it'll help you boost your immune system to help you more resistant. I don't know.
Okay, all right, we'll talk about that tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Make someone smile out there.
We love you. Never forget it.
Ciao, ciao, meow, meow.
Expresso Show, made with love by Clover. Another feel-good production.